Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Law-Splaining the Interwebs. I'm your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. Whew. How's it going, guys? How is it going? Yes, I'm late. Sorry. I had this great idea. I got this little tripod-y thing for my camera. And I was like, oh, I know what I can do. I can take my giant monitor and lift it. The audio's off. Oh, fucking thing. Hold on. It should be right. Maybe I'm peaking. I might be peaking. The hell. This should be better. Hopefully. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, anyway. Oh, there we go. That should fix things too. Maybe. Why is it so high? Okay. Anyway. Okay, so like I was saying. Everything gets changed all the time, constantly. Nothing could just be easy. Nothing can be simple, except for live streaming on Twitch, apparently, with the new meta, which we're going to talk about in just a few minutes here, because we're going to have a little chat about the Twitch meta and how brilliant and creative these streamers are, who are so they're just taken aback by what's happened to them. So we're going to talk about that. But someone before the show, and my apologies for not remembering your name, but someone before the show said that they were excited that there's more of the Cannibal guy today, but they're sad because they only have an hour, and they know that I'll be 20 minutes late. I'll ramble for 20 minutes and I'll bitch at chat for 20 minutes, which is true. So what I have to do is I have to go ahead and waste a whole bunch of time to make that true. Because that's what we do. That's what has to happen. You know, when you figured it out, you figured it out. But no, so we do have a couple topics today. We have the Twitch streamers, right? XQC, Pokimane, Hassan. Those are the main ones who we're going to talk about, because they're the subject of the most recent bannings, the wave of bannings, Twitch bannings. You know, for whatever it is, though, Twitch bans are short. At least for all these people. All these people get banned all the fucking time. And they get banned for like 3 days, 2 days, a weekend, or whatever. And it's like, God, you know, there's something magical about stealing, about literally committing federal crimes on live streams. In fact, the subject of your live stream is committing the federal criminal act. And then just, 3 days. Wait, 3 days? That's it? On YouTube, you can go away forever for what they did in no time at all. No, like, they had easily enough information on all of these people to ban them on YouTube forever. Well, on Twitch forever too. And they should be banned. Like, I'm not a proponent of bannings, but this isn't wrongthink or bad speech. This is outright theft. And it's not really even that close on this one. What did they do? What did they do? Okay, so Pokimane got banned for streaming Avatar: The Last Airbender. And when I say by streaming Avatar: The Last Airbender, I mean the entire show, all of it. Not all of an episode, like all of it. Sitting there just watching an entire show. You know, and I don't mean a watch party like through the Amazon Prime app, which they let you do on Twitch. I mean, just flat out playing it like it's nothing. What did XQC do? Well, his is very different band. He was watching MasterChef. Just watching MasterChef. Just the whole thing. Just the whole show. Just like multiple episodes. Just broadcasting like they're a fucking cable channel. You know, it's fine. I see someone in there who's out there who's like doesn't believe in intellectual property. It's fine. You don't have to believe in intellectual property. The fact is that the government does, and the government has imposed laws around intellectual property. And typically, when you violate a federal law on a streaming platform, there's a real consequence. And actually, for many streamers, there would be real consequences for it. But the best thing is their excuses for doing this. Like XQC at one point said, allegedly said, well, I do this because my viewers are poor. As if that's a justification, by the way, as if it's justified to take something that someone else can't buy because they can't buy it. Now he could buy them all copies, right? Like he could buy copies. He could buy the license. If he really wanted to distribute it, he could do that. But that's like saying, they really wanted a PlayStation, but they couldn't afford one. So I just went into Target and took it and gave it to them. I mean, I guess that's the way to do it. Oh my God. It's amazing. It's amazing. Now, don't get me wrong. There are real problems with copyright and DMCA abuse on Twitch, on Twitter, on YouTube, on any social media platform. It's a way to censor and ban and attack the accounts of people who you don't like, right? We know there's a guy who does it to DSP or who does it to people who detract from DSP. I don't even know anymore. He's gone after Memology several times, and that guy is a little bit different. He lies about people stealing content. He impersonates the content owner and then lies and then gets the imposition of like a temporary suspension or whatever from the platform that they're on. That guy is also committing a crime. That's a criminal act. And that is abuse of the DMCA system. We know that when like Sony Music or Universal, when they DMCA someone for playing 12 seconds of a song, right? That is usually an abuse of the DMCA. There's some background music in a video or whatever. It's obviously not the focus. It's faint. We know that's an abuse of the process. Copyright protections are to apply when someone is taking the work and improperly utilizing the work, not having a use of something that has an incidental attachment to the work. For example, like I said, 10 seconds of a song in some meme or some other thing, where the song is not actually the product anymore. It has been transformed into something else. This is transformative use. This is the essential basis of fair use, and things that are transformed are new intellectual property. And if we had a robust system that recognized that that's how things worked, we wouldn't have these DMCA problems in the same way, but we don't. And so bad actors are able to abuse DMCA in that way. But copyright law is intended to specifically address what these people were doing. It's not an edge case. It's not like, well, they're close though. No, this is them taking a thing and just rebroadcasting it in full the whole time. Like that's what they're doing. That's it. They will occasionally make a comment or a smirk or a laugh, and then that is for them, I guess. No, they don't even make a fair use argument. Frankly, they just say that they should be able to do this. QXC. Oh God. Where was it? I got to find the. Let's see. Here we go. And the worst part about this is not like, so here's what Twitch does, or here's how Twitch streamers work. When I say Twitch streamers, I don't mean all Twitch streamers. I mean the ones that are mega successful in certain areas, like QXC, like Pokimane, like Amaranth, like Hassan. All right, the top streamers. They develop something called a meta. And the meta is, this is popular. That's the meta, right? For a while, the meta was hot chick bikini hot tub. Oh my God, it took them a lot to figure that out. Once that one got demonetized, it was big ass chick in pants that make their ass look even bigger, but also compress the ass so you can't see the cellulite, laying in front of a microphone, talking away from the camera with the camera zoomed in right on their ass so you can see the contours of their vagina. Okay, that was another meta. Again, very, very hard to figure out that the average age population of 19 on Twitch, 19-year-old male predominantly, would find this content popular. But shockingly, they did. 19-year-old on average men, so men predominantly between 14 and 26 or whatever, gravitated towards content that was a woman laying with form-fitting pants that would show the contours of her vagina and the camera focused on it. I can't believe they figured it out, but they did. Another meta that is currently very popular is for a female to have a very sensitive high gain microphone and to make certain noises to produce an ASMR response, which is audio simpery mother rapist. I don't know what ASMR stands for. It doesn't matter. What it means is you get a stimulation from auditory response to a sound. So they get really high gain microphones that pick up everything, and then they do different things. Like, for example, they will. There's one chick who will rub her hair. It's like. And then there's the same chick will purr. She'll purr into the microphone. What most of them do is they will just lick. They'll just lick the microphone and just sit there and sound like they're giving the sloppiest blowjob onto the microphone that they possibly can. Except the microphone is actually shaped like ears, and they'll just sit there and just licking ears the entire time. All right, they will do that for hours and hours and hours. Oh, wait. I left out the part where they're in just a bra with giant tits. right? Like that's the other it seems to be a crucial element of ASMR. I mean, some girls have figured out how to do it without just their titties out, but most of them do it that way. What they do is they wear a lacy bra and have their breasts front and center and then just lick the shit out of an ear-shaped microphone. And I'm not like, I wish I was joking. I wish there was something other than what I'm saying, because not because of anything other than like I just want men to stop spending money on that. I guess. But that's what that's the other meta. But the current meta, because guys don't function very well on ASMR. It's something like I can't figure out what element or maybe two specific elements are missing from men doing ASMR. Because you can go on the ASMR page on Twitch and list by the top streamers, and you'll just find an absence of men up at the top. I don't know what to. I feel like they'd probably be big issues, might be missing from those streams, but there's something gone. There's something gone. I did not find a new word. Meta rules 1138. This is the parlance of online things. It's the meta build in a various game. This is the Twitch meta. Okay. So, but anyway, so guys don't seem to get the same success with ASMR, and I can't figure out why. But that being said, they have different metas, and the meta for the top streamers right now, including Pokimane, I guess, and QXC and Hassan Piker, the communist nephew of Cenk Uygur, the giant bowl of pudding from Turkey. The meta that they were doing was, let's watch ultra successful TV shows and pretend we're successful because of it. That was it. That's what they did. It's like MasterChef is this amazing show. It's like, yes, it's highly produced, multi-million dollar piece of work with some of the top talent work in the industry working on it, and it was wildly successful. Shockingly, if you just play it, it will be successful again. It has this ability to be a successful show because they found a hit, and then they went with a formula that hit. They found a meta before you found a meta, and your meta is to just watch someone else's meta. Good job, I guess. But that's what they did. So here we go. Let's see what the comments were on this. Some comments from this beta is QXC. He is the #1 Twitch streamer of 2021. Now, QXC actually does have the ability to produce really unique content because he is a very, very skilled video game player. He's very, very good, or he was. I don't know if he is anymore. I don't even know what he played, but that's how he got famous. Is he sat and played, or XQC, not QXC. Shit, different person there. XQC. QXC, I think, was a Diablo streamer, right? QXC is a different guy, an Aussie, if I remember right. Does he play? Whatever. Okay, so XQC, he was Overwatch player. Whatever. This doesn't fucking matter. These people, who cares? He used to play video games, and then he found out he could make a whole shitload of money by just stealing a TV show and playing it. What would you do? Try or not try? I'll tell you what I would do when we get to like the 2.5 hour or whatever of the show, when I start watching a trial. But that being said, now Ludwig was a different Twitch streamer, and Ludwig, whatever, he has the world record, or had, I don't know if he still does, for the most simultaneous subscribers on Twitch. Now, Twitch has followers, right? That's a YouTube subscriber. And then Twitch has subscribers, which is more akin to YouTube members, if you're not familiar. So the subscribers on Twitch are paid. And Ludwig did a stream where he would stream, and he would add like 10 minutes or something, or 10 seconds, I don't know, to the stream for every subscriber that he got. And he ended up with like 350,000 subscribers, or something ridiculous. And then he, and he streamed for like a month and a half straight. When I say streamed for a month and a half straight, like he would go to sleep or whatever. It's not like he stayed awake the entire time. But yeah, he left Twitch recently. He left Twitch and went to YouTube. And then what did he do? He played Baby Shark on YouTube, and he was unfamiliar with YouTube's overwhelmingly ridiculous enforcement of DMCA. And he was yeeted right off of his YouTube channel. Well, good job. See, they got used to the whole Twitch thing where you can do whatever the fuck you want, and Twitch just doesn't do anything about it until they do, which is probably the right way to handle stuff like this, because I don't know about Ludwig's specific use of the Baby Shark thing, but I do think YouTube has a habit of way overdoing their copyright enforcement. Okay, so anyway, here we go. Just read how this shit reads. The Master Chef meta on Twitch has received a lot of hate from popular content creators. Soda Poppin', I hate this timeline, said that he hoped streamers broadcasting the reality shows would get DMCA'd. Then Ludwig called the meta potentially catastrophic. Let's be very clear about this. It is potentially catastrophic for the platform. For the platform. If the platform does not enforce DMCA, if they don't enforce copyright restrictions in some way, the platform stands to be shut down. That's the problem. And this isn't Pirate Bay, right? This is a business attached to Amazon. They can't just open a bunch of servers in weird fucking third world countries that are hard to get to, and pop up with this like distributed network. They're Twitch. Like, they could just go and arrest Jeff Bezos eventually if they wanted to. So XQC is a god compared to me. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. I could definitely beat him at Overwatch. 100%. I'll 1v1 him at Overwatch and win every time. Let's see. But this is potentially catastrophic for the platform. Again, a platform can't just consistently allow theft. They have to make a good faith effort. And if they don't, what they will do is eventually they'll follow that the Russell Greer theory of contributory copyright infringement on the civil side. And the amount of infringement going on would be massive. But then there are federal criminal charges that could come in. And frankly, all of these streamers are lucky that they're not getting federal criminal charges. It's a massive testament to how far we've come on copyright. Because if you said in 1985, for example, that someone would take and record a TV show on a tape, right? And then they would go on to a different TV station and just broadcast that tape to 200,000 people. You would go to prison. You would not get a DMCA strike. There would not be a takedown letter and your channel getting 2 days off the air. You would go to prison, 10 years, $250,000 fine per episode is what would happen in 1985. That's what would happen. Technically, that penalty can apply all the way down to like the guys in New York selling the tapes or DVDs or whatever outside the movie theater, but they don't get picked up because their scale of their operation is so small. It really just, people don't really care if like someone sells one DVD. I mean, you shouldn't do it. It's illegal, but people don't care as much. There's a big difference when you're broadcasting to 200, 300, 400,000 people, a show on a competing network, right? There's a right that's been infringed at that point. There was money that was paid for the license to air that show, and that license has been violated by someone, and that's a federal felony to do so per episode. What these guys did, just a couple years ago would not have gotten them a ban, would have gotten them in prison. It's crazy town. So, with that said, let's talk more. That's why it's catastrophic for Twitch. That's why it's catastrophic for Twitch. It would be like Fox taking an NBC show and broadcasting it in full. Just run it in the lineup. Who cares? You know what? We'll just binge watch all of the season and the entire season in one shot. You think there'd be a problem if NBC grabbed The Witcher from Netflix and just played it straight through? So yeah, fuck you. You don't have to pay for a Netflix subscription. Here's The Witcher, right? I think that Netflix would have a problem with that. Okay, one of the most popular streamers spearheading the meta, just spearheading the theft, I guess, is XCQ. Fuck, QXC. Why do I keep saying QXC? XQC. Fuck. Who decided to respond to the ongoing criticism after getting celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay to respond to him on Twitter. XQC clearly feels confident that streaming popular cooking reality show is not going to harm his channel at all. This is before the ban. In fact, he's had the most views he's ever had and may even get Ramsay to react to television shows with him. So remember, by the way, this is the most popular streamer who built on Twitch, who built his career by being very good at video games. What did he do? He grabbed AAA produced content and broadcast that. Some of the content with millions and millions of viewers and got even more views. Shocking. Ludwig started comparing XQC's reality show streams to the alt-right rabbit hole of YouTube, but XQC stopped the streamer mid-sentence to make fun of him. He's just mauled because he swapped cars and his car ran out of gas real effing fast. He got banned 3 times in the span of 3 days, XQC said with a laugh. He was referencing Ludwig's shocking decision to leave Twitch after his record-breaking subathon to stream exclusively on YouTube. Just 3 days into his new career, Ludwig was suspended for playing Baby Shark on the stream. He continued that he was a rookie making a rookie take. XQC explained that the streaming industry couldn't correct itself after Ludwig demanded a course correction. Instead, he said, "Things explode. This is something streamers knew since the beginning of Twitch. Things explode and nothing goes back." So he thinks that because it's popular to steal the content on Twitch, that Twitch won't do anything about it. Again, this is prior to the ban. Well, stealing cars is really popular. So, unfortunately, car dealerships just going to have to deal with that, I guess. Nope, not how that works. Not how that works at all. The controversial streamer did admit, however, that it's possible that content creators could get banned on Twitch for streaming TV shows, but he said the real problem would be if streamers broadcast brand new episodes. Nope. This is an incorrect take on how licensing of television shows works. You fucking moron. You dumb pile of trash. What made you think that only new shows matter? I mean, they may be a public domain show from 75 years ago. You could then potentially have something enter the public domain, and then you could just watch that. yeah, that'd be a whole different thing. What are you talking about? Either way, he said that Twitch deciding to ban everyone for showing the television shows would lead to a disaster. Oh, would it? Would it? Really? Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure all of the biggest streamers who make literally millions of dollars a year are all going to what? Quit and protest? And what? Go back to just, I guess the next person would become millions of viewers playing video games again, which is where Twitch got started and still has pretty high numbers with regularity. So what is the answer then? Well, we found out it was to ban them. For now, it feels as though watching reality shows on Twitch is the future of streaming. It could be, but not in the way that he's doing it. See, Twitch actually has a way for you to do this. It's amazing, I know, but Twitch has a built-in way for you to do what these guys are doing legally. You have to have Amazon Prime, and the viewer has to have Amazon Prime, and then Twitch will set up basically a watch together room where you can watch anything, literally anything that's on Amazon Prime. They have all kinds of reality TV. They have all kinds of dramatic TV. They have movies of all different stripes. You can do this legally, but you have to do it legally. It's amazing. They're called watch parties. I love to do them. They're fun. But see, what they do is because it's streamed through Amazon Prime, Twitch just facilitates the connection for everybody to be on a synchronized Amazon Prime because Amazon owns Twitch and they're able to build this out. So you can just do that because then everybody's honoring all of the license agreements that have been paid for, right? Because you're getting your Amazon Prime through Twitch. You're watching it through the service that owns the license. And that, but that's not good enough. Again, it's not in this article, but XQC said, well, but my viewers can't afford Amazon Prime. Sure they can't. I mean, they may not want to. Don't get me wrong. Who wants to pay for Amazon Prime or anything for that matter? Most people would just not want to. All right, let's see here. Here we go. On to Pokimane. We'll talk about. Let's see what she has to say about it. Pokimane. Who designs these websites? They should be shot. Explains why why she thinks Twitch ban for DMCA strikes is totally fair. Pokimane Annis has come out in defense of her Twitch ban, explaining why it's totally fair. She was whacked with a site suspension for watching Avatar and other popular TV series in the past few days. The shock January 8th ban sent the fox among the chickens, while many declared at the end of Twitch. Why? Do they think that you can do this somewhere else? Do people think that because, well, if Twitch stops it, you can't do it on YouTube. You can't do it anywhere. I mean, you may be able to get away with it for a while on BitChute or Rumble or Odyssey or something like that. But even they have to abide by American copyright law at the end of the day, because eventually they'll get taken down too. Let's see. 48-hour suspension. Just amazing. Amazing. Entire episodes. On YouTube, you get 3 DMCA takedowns. Your channel is gone. Or 3 copyright strikes, I should say. Your channel is gone forever. Like, it is toast. Let's see. She wasn't surprised by her suspension and went on to admit she doesn't think it's unfair either. In my opinion, it was inevitable publishers would take action on me or someone else during the Twitch React meta. Oh, you think so? You think it was inevitable? So I just kept going back to the same house and stealing their wallet every day. I mean, I guess it was inevitable at some point that that they would lock the door and call the cops. I don't know. Her now controversial January 8th stream, where she watched Avatar: The Last Airbender for more than 6 hours in a row, was the first time she had joined the TV meta in any major way. She hit a 30,000 viewer high water mark and streamed in Just Chatting. Ironically, her stream title was, "We're finally going to do it. Hopefully nothing crazy happens." Oh my God. Wait, they reversed his DMCA strike? Okay, maybe it is the end of Twitch. Never mind. Everything's fine. Steal whatever you want. Fuck all these people. All of them. Fuck all of them. The laziest people on the goddamn planet. It's insane. Insanity. Twitch, what are you doing? Don't reverse the DMCA strikes. Ugh. Wait a minute. There was a rogue DMCA notification apparently opened by Fox Network, submitted on Hassan's channel, and then subsequently processed by mistake. A rogue DMCA? What's a rogue DMCA from the license holder? What even is that? Never mind. Never mind. Ugh. By the way, if you want to see what peak masculine performance looks like, there it is. That's it. That's Hassan right there. It's a real shame. I was watching an interview with Hassan with Jesse Lee Peterson from a couple years ago, which I'd strongly recommend people to check that out. It's a great interview. Jesse Lee Peterson is one of the funniest interviewers on the planet. Guy has a massive talent for interviewing people in a way that you will not find anywhere else. And he interviewed Hassan, and in that stream, Hassan looked like he looked a lot like Steven Crowder, but he was clean shaven, which is actually a decent look for him. His hair was cut, and he looked kind of presentable. But it's funny what communism will do to you. Amazing. Man, you've got, like, if you want to see communist ideology just completely crumble in the face of the simplicity of yes or no answers, that's where you got to do it. That's Jesse Lee Peterson's superpower, is he will just ask you the question again and again and again until you give him an actual answer to the question. It's the funniest thing. I don't know what radioactive material had to get into his body to make him do that, but no one else will do that. He'll just, do you love black people? I love everybody. Do you love black people? I mean, I love black people. I also love white people and Asian. Do you love black people? Just answer the damn question. Just answer it. He does not. No, he does not employ the Socratic method. No, he asks yes or no questions until you answer the yes or no question, and then he calls you a beta. and makes fun of you for being like a woman. It's I can't stop laughing at how funny his show is. And it's phenomenal. But yeah, if you get on, you watch it, and the problem with people like Hassan or Destiny, when they go on the show, is they think that they're infinitely smarter than Jesse is. I don't know if it's the soft bigotry of low expectations. I don't know if they've made an assessment. There's a lot of possible reasons why they may think that they are superior to him, but they do. And then what happens is all of their fucking smarts looks really, really stupid when you just can't answer a simple yes or no question, right? Like both Destiny and Hassan struggled with the, do you love black people? Because they said, well, they love everybody. You know, they don't look at things that way. It's like the answer then is just yes. If you love everybody and black people are everybody, then you just say yes. It's not a trick. It's not a trick question. I mean, the follow-up question is going to be a trick question, but that one's pretty simple. But they can't do it because they're too smart. They got to answer thoroughly and robustly, and then they have to think about it. Yeah, but the guy asking you the question doesn't need you to think about it. He's not thinking about your answer. He's literally just waiting for your answer to ask his next question. He doesn't even really care what you say, because you could say yes or no, and he's going to ask probably the same question to follow up. You're just waiting for his opportunity to respond. He's a bulldozer, and that's why it's a great show. Yeah, I know Destiny and Jesse are like, yeah, he went back on the show. I know, but that first one was because I think maybe Destiny, and if you go look at the comment section, you'll find the Destiny simps in the comment section. That's really great too. But I think he realized how he looked on the show afterwards, and probably just reassessed how to deal with that line of questioning. But they're great. They're great. Again, Jesse Lee Peterson's one of the funniest interviewers on the planet. That's what he brings. You know what wouldn't be funny, like, or unique in any way? But it actually probably would be kind of funny. But if Jesse Lee Peterson just, instead of doing his show, just had a TV show playing in the background. Now he could probably add enough commentary to make it funny. I don't know that he would, but he doesn't though. He makes something on his own, and that's the trick. That's the trick. All of these streamers have the theoretical capability of making something on their own, and they just should. That's what should be made. Anyway. Okay, let me get some of these super chats and then we'll get into the that's the Twitch thing. I had to rant about it. If you really want like a good legal breakdown of it, I haven't watched it, but I know it's going to be good anyway. Hogue Law did a full-on explanation of the Twitch DMCA stuff. And if you want a guy who's smart, who's in this space of like gaming, online entertainment, but also knows his shit on intellectual property, I mean, that's a great way to, that's a great place to check it out. I think Attorney Tom also did a video on it. So you can certainly, excuse me. You can check those out for sure. Okay. Let's see. Watch this clip of Destiny. Do you love black people? Lie detector test on Mitskiff stream. No, see, I'm talking about not just watching other people's content. Yeah, think before you sleep. That was the quote. Hassan says it's not copyright infringement if no one catches you, basically. Oh boy. Patrick Allen says, Nick, just change the show time to 11:05, but keep telling yourself 11, then you'll be on time every time. But I'm not good at lying to myself about the show time. Squizcar says, Jesus, Nick, you're late more often than a college girl using abortion as birth control. Oh my God. Ethrol says, did you see my thread I added you in? I have no idea. Maybe. I might. Striker A says, have you seen the new Project Veritas video on COVID and DARPA? Sounds pretty damning if true. I have not. I've only seen I've seen a tag of it, but that's about it. And then Base Crocodile says, YouTube is targeting JCS Psychology's channel. What? Why are they going after them? That's a really interesting channel. Corrections 101 says late, pegged, and gay. Cuckreda law. Keep up the great content. Cluck, 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 cluck. Bunch of chicken emojis. Phoenix Lord Asterman says, your Pop-Tarts note killed me today. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Yes. I guess that's as good a time as ever to plug this. I did a short live stream earlier today. Oh, I really want to be doing daytime streams, but after the new year, everything is messed up. I had 3 appointments irritatingly spaced today. I got molds of my inner ear taken for my headphones. I found out I have narrow ear canals. So that's why even the smallest, little headphone things like on these guys, even these, which are this is the middle one because it's my right ear. But the smallest one here is on my left ear. Even this hurts after a little bit. Turns out I have little narrow virgin ear cavities. So they get stretched open by the big headphones. Not narrow urethra, narrow ear canals. Oh my God. But anyway, so but I got my ear molds taken for my custom monitors. So that'll be fun. But I had to do that, and then I had I had not a Fed, but a county government inspector had to come inspect the shed I had built like 2 years ago because I never had them inspect it. And they're like, by the way, you need to do that or else it could eventually be a crime. So I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. So I had that person come out and then, of course, tell me that there's something missing, which is great. You know what? Fuck the government. You know what he tells me? So I have to, as if I even know, like he just tells me that. He doesn't show me, he just tells me. He's like, oh, you gotta put some lags in the joists and you gotta put some lags in the truss. I'm like, okay. I don't know what that means. Like, I mean, I know conceptually what a lag screw and a truss and a joist are. Like, I get that, but I'm not like a guy who knows where to put those screws specifically in those objects. And so he's like, you got to do that. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll have someone, do that or whatever. And, but he's like, yeah, because if you get wind coming through there, then it could knock the whole thing. I'm like, it has been the windiest fucking week I've ever, I remembered ever. This structure has been up for 2 years. Like the only wind that's going to take it down is a tornado at this point. So anyway, so I hate the county government. I hate everybody involved with it, but that apparently is something I now have to do by law. I'm looking at him. I'm like, you know what? I should have just never called you guys. I should have just never had the inspection done because it would have been fine. But anyway, so then we had our washer and dryer were out. They're toast. So we got new ones delivered today. So that was everything. And that went wrong too. Because nothing can go right. So now I'm thoroughly angry about everything. So Anyway, but yes, this rambling rant came from a space. So I didn't have time to stream on YouTube today because I only had like these hour-long spaces between appointments during the day. So instead, what I did was I did a stream on Locals, and I got 250 strawberry Pop-Tarts from the Riminal order. Aaron H says, "What was wrong with your washer and dryer that you couldn't fix it? Come on, man." It was more of a issue of I wanted to upgrade, and the brokenness of them was a good excuse to do so. Yes, so the Riminal order sent me 250 strawberry Pop-Tarts, and they sent me a 4-page Amazon gift note. It was addressed to a small PP bully man, and and the note was something that I read on Locals. I won't read it on YouTube because it involves tons of cum jokes, which is a little bit much for this. So if you're interested in that type of stuff, it is on Locals, ricadalaw.locals.com, and it's some content over there. You can go check it out. The video replay is free. I think if you want to like comment on it or anything, then you'd have to sign up, but you can go watch it. So, okay. Next, Nova says, started watching with Rittenhouse. You're more entertaining than almost all other podcasts, and you've ruined them for me. What's the best way to support which puts maximum dollars in your pocket with the smallest cut taken? I mean, if you're interested in the maximum cut for me, it's Locals. That's the best way to support. But that's kind of like the ongoing monthly format. I mean, you can do one-time things over there, but otherwise, I guess the next would be Odyssey. You could go on Odyssey and chat with me there, or send a super chat on Odyssey, their version of a super chat, hyper chat or something. They take a very, very low cut over there. So that's another way. But I frankly, like, YouTube super chats are also very, very much appreciated. What's in the red box behind me? Oh, that is a new book set. The Mechanicus books. Okay. Anyway, so there you go, Nova. Thank you very much for reaching out. Uncivil Law says, lick the mic for me. There you go. There you go. I hope you like that. Angry Bellsprout says, recently found out Air Force authorized pronouns in your signature block. Another step in turning the military into Twitter. This kind of nonsense makes me embarrassed to have ever raised my hand. Hope to see some beep boop borp. Unsubbed. Did the sound come through? I didn't think the sound would come through. Oh my gosh. Yeah, of course. Well, they've been turning the military into anything but a military for a little while now. That's pretty obvious. Describe the taste of your mic. It's just a metal mesh. I mean, there's nothing to describe. Red Dragon 412 says, you'll probably disagree, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Private property is the way we solve the problem of scarcity. Ideas and patterns aren't physically scarce, so property isn't the right solution. If you want me to make an esteemed scholarly defense of intellectual property, no, I'm not going to. There is probably a better system of organization for intellectual property than what we have. The concept of intellectual property, when we basically created it with the patent and copyright and trademark office or whatever. I mean, I don't know if we fully created it, but we made it very robust. We added serious protections for the system that we have. that was novel. It was a new thing. It was, if it wasn't completely new, it was a bigger expansion than anything else that existed. And so um, that doesn't mean it's automatically good or bad, but it could mean that there's room to improve it and to change it. I don't know what that looks like. I'm not a studier of this field of law or anything like that. And I'm not a huge intellectual property defender, but the law is not likely to change because of a Twitch streamer like making it something else. And, for better or worse, that's what we've got. And you have to do that. I mean, like, for example, if I don't agree with murder being illegal, and I run around shooting people, I mean, I can't be like, but this is unjust, though, as I get carted away and hung from the rooftops or whatever. Like, that's just because you disagree with a legal concept or a legal system doesn't mean you're not under it. And so you've got a couple reasons why you could make a protest against that sort of thing. Like if you look at Louis Rossman and what he was doing with Right to Repair, is doing with Right to Repair, it's an ongoing fight, but challenging the legal process because of the justice or the injustice of the structure that exists. I mean, that's one thing. And there are plenty of people who violate laws for the purposes of trying to get them changed. We talk about Plessy versus Ferguson. We've talked about it a couple times on recent shows. Plessy was a white passing black man because he was like an 8th or 16th black, but he was white by all outward appearances. And so what they did was they encouraged Plessy, who under the law was black, to violate the law by getting in the white folk train car, right? That was the whole idea, is that he would get in the white folks train car and then they would report him for being black in a white space. And then they would then attack the lunacy of the law. And what they thought was they would win. They lost, though. But the idea was that they would break the law for the purpose of bringing about their notion of justice. The Twitch streamers aren't protesting intellectual property law as a structure. They're just going, this is a real easy way to get lots of people watching and make a shitload of money. And believe me, it's a lot of money, right? So that's what's going on there. But yeah, there is, it's similar to pharmaceuticals because that's intellectual property as well. There's got to be something we can do where the invention or the creation, the cost benefit analysis for creation is completed, while also maybe opening up intellectual property. I'm not sure how that system looks, though. I don't know what that is. But anyway, yeah, it is a big discussion. Something tells me that the esteemed thinkers, Pokimane, XQC, and Hassan Piker are not the ones to solve the intellectual property issue. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but something tells me that they might not be up to the task. ARC509 says, hey, Nick, your whiskey drinking has made me want to give it a shot myself. What's a good whiskey you'd recommend for people just starting out? If you're going to go with a bourbon, try Basil Hayden's. If you're going to go with a rye, a inexpensive Whistle Pig like the Farm Stock or the 6-year, I think are going to be around. They're not super cheap. They're probably around $50-$60. But those are really good. Or Michter's. Michter's has a good rye for probably $30 to $40. And if you're going to do a Scotch, you might want to start with like a Glenlivet 12-year, very inexpensive, neutral Scotch. Those are my recommendations for just starting out. Scarlock says, so when are you doing an ASMR stream in Mark Richards' voice making legal commentary on old Dukes of Hazzard and A-Team episodes from the 80s? Would corner the boomer market, maybe throw some Airwolf in for variety. Now, see, that would probably be fair use. And if I did that on YouTube, that would probably get struck down. But see, that would be right. That'd be transformative. There'd be a lot going on. That'd be an effort. You're like, now the Dukes. I like when Daisy wears her Daisy Dukes. Really makes me feel special on the inside. How do you whisper in Richard's voice? Oh my God, that's tough. Mandy Karavichus says, my friends say lawyers and judges in a courtroom are not sworn in, so they're not under oath, and they can lie and make stuff up without consequences. Considering what's been going on lately, what is your take on this, Nick? While it is true, they are not under oath, they are not sworn in. However, they have a ethical obligation of candor before the court. You cannot just lie to the court. Now, do some of them lie? Yes. But more often what you find is, and this is why they're not sworn in, they're framing the facts in a light favorable to their client. They're advancing a theory of fact and mixed fact and law that is favorable to their client while not being overtly dishonest, or that's the idea, right? So they say, we believe this is not a violation of the law. Here are the facts that support that, and here's why. If you outright lie, that's a problem, or it's supposed to be. Now, a lot of them do get away with it because we defer, especially with the attorneys, on people making their case, so long as the lie is not an egregious, prejudicial lie. But there are remedies for that when it happens. That's my take on it. TR Greater Rex. Oh my goodness. Sorry, didn't get a lot of sleep. Super tired. Congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs, national college football champions for the first time in 40 years. Hey, good job, guys. Next, we have Third Eye says, if you want to see Fauci's daughter in an 18-plus music video, search DSL Poof. Oh, no. Podhead says, Nick, do you love black people? Yes. Super Iron Bob says, BBC funds for Nick's ears. Oh, man. Next is Alfred Brubaker says, your Warhammer collection is as impressive as mine. What is my favorite book? I really like the Eisenhorn books. That was the, 3-book set. I think, the initial Eisenhorn trilogy. I know it's not one book, but I bought it as an omnibus, so it's probably my favorite. I like the entire Eisenhorn series, though. Okay, there's that, and I think there was a chat over on Odyssey or two here. Great US says, the Ricada Law community missed you for days as you recovered from your JM/Superman without superpowers, tormented for 8 months style sexual assault you suffered. Thankfully, it only cost me 5% by Odyssey to send you this message of positive energy. TZ Canadian Beer says, Odyssey tips, Nick. And Bahama Llama Mama DR says, stick this in your narrow ear holes. Okay. I will do that. I will do that. All right, let's hit some other very short topics. First one is, I saw someone ask about this, and it was on my agenda to talk about. The Supreme Court has not ruled. They did not rule on the issue because, I mean, why would we want the Supreme Court to work? Like, why would we make them do that? Do you know how old they are? Do you know how old the Supreme Court is? They don't have time to fucking try. Anyway, so presumably the government mandate has kicked into effect today. Although there's a couple caveats to that. The masking and testing mandate starts today. The vaccination deadline is actually, excuse me, in February, I believe. And so that is not actually in full effect yet. You don't have to be vaccinated starting today under the mandate. Now, your employer may require that, but the mandate itself says that the fully vaccinated is sometime in February. But masking and testing mandates for the unvaccinated at works start today, because the Supreme Court did not rule. However, we do have an indication that some rulings will come out on Thursday. Not sure if it's this ruling or not, but it's hard to read right now what it means, because the most egregious aspect for many people would be the mandatory vaccinations, because that is not actually going into effect right away, and there's still a little leeway time, even if you figure in the lag time for getting a booster and all that stuff. My question is, how many boosters do you need to be vaccinated? Are they up to 4? Are they up to 4 boosters yet? They're up to 5, 6, 7 boosters. How many boosters do you need now? Like, how many government micro penises must be shoved into your body before they've pumped you full of enough government love juice? Like, how many of those do you have to go through before you comply? Is it just the 1? Is it the 2? Is it the 3? Like, how many is it? And is it going to change? Anyway, I don't know the answer is the problem. It doesn't matter for me right now, because I'm not obligated to be vaccinated. In theory, though, YouTube could impose that obligation on streamers. That could happen. It'd be ridiculous, but they could in theory do that. So that would be wild. But yeah, so the Supreme Court did not rule on it, but because the lag time, it doesn't really indicate anything either way. They probably could have argued a little harder that the injunction needed to happen right away, but they didn't. Or that there should be an administrative stay, and just ask for a 10-day administrative stay or something. Who knows? They didn't get too far into that, but we'll see. If the decision comes out Thursday, it's not that big of a deal as far as the mandate goes. But again, employers, this is the problem with this, is many employers, if not most employers, wanted this from the government so that they didn't have to worry about it, because they can just blame the government. So that's why many employers were demanding proof of the jab by today, even though the mandate is for later. Yeah, Brack, I've seen the proposed bills on the vaccine. It's crazy town. That's it's insane. And again, the argument, even from the Supreme Court justices, doesn't focus on the fact that it's just a fundamental infringement of liberty. Like, I'm just sitting here like going, wait, but the problem is, though, I should never have to take anything. The government shouldn't mandate my action in any way. Like, that shouldn't ever exist, especially a permanent medical procedure where I'm injecting some sort of thing into my body. I don't give a shit if it's safe. I don't care if it gives me the biggest pee-pee. I don't care what it does. I should never be forced to take something injected into my body unless I have done something to lose my rights. Right? Like, you join the military or whatever, I guess, because as anybody in the military knows, like, you're going to get whatever meds they put in you, and they don't really care that much what you think about it. If you're in prison, for example, they probably have a greater access to restrict your liberty there. Specifically, if you're like life in prison without parole, I mean, they can inject you full of all sorts of shit, maybe. mean, they can't actually, but maybe they would be able to make the argument. But if you're just out and a free person, I mean, the idea that they'd be able to do this it's insane to me. Oh, that made me think of something. I had something I wanted to mention. Oh, yes. I remember what it was now. Let me find the news story. It's one of those small topics to talk about. You guys have heard of civil asset forfeiture, right? Check this out. Here we go. Texas sheriff under investigation for routinely seizing cash from undocumented immigrants. Wait. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's under investigation for doing this? When are you going to put all police departments under investigation for doing this to people all the time? Like they suddenly care because they're illegal immigrants? Like now it's a problem? It became a problem because they're illegal immigrants? Civil asset forfeiture is a cancer on a free society. If you don't know what civil asset forfeiture is, it is the notion that a police officer, an agent of the state, can determine that there's a likelihood that something of yours was used in furtherance of a criminal enterprise, and then they can take it. Like your money. They just take your money. Oh, this is probably for a drug deal that you haven't even done yet. Mine. They just take your, you got $2,000 in your wallet and they just take your $1,500 that's in your wallet. Right? And they write down how they confiscated $1,500 from you. Because that actually shockingly happens. That's one of the issues with cash, is that unless you take a picture of it, you don't really have proof that you had $2,000, did you? No, suddenly you had less than $2,000. And it can get pretty absurd. I mean, they can take trucks, cars, they can take homes, business buildings, they can take whatever, as long as it meets the furtherance of the problem. But here's the wildest thing. Many things that are forfeited under civil asset forfeiture. In fact, I believe it's not just the majority, but the overwhelming majority never result in a prosecution, which means they can take your $12,000 that you have on you because they determined it's for drugs, and then they cannot charge you with any crime. But they'll just take your money, though. But now it's a problem. Let's read the story. And by the way, this happens legally every single day in the United States. Every day, someone gets civil asset forfeited. Every day, that is going on. But now it's suddenly a problem. A rural sheriff near the Texas border is under criminal investigation for allegedly having his deputies illegally seize money in a truck from undocumented immigrants during traffic stops. How's it illegal? I'm curious. Last month, investigators with the Texas Rangers and the Texas Attorney General's office raided 4 Real County Sheriff's Office locations as part of an investigation into Sheriff Nathan Johnson. According to search warrants obtained this week by the Texas Tribune, the investigating Texas Rangers said Johnson admitted to regularly seizing money from undocumented immigrants during traffic stops, even if they were not accused of any state crime, before handing them over to the United States Border Patrol agents. One sheriff's deputy told investigators that seizing currency from undocumented immigrants and the driver has been standard operating procedure for as long as he had been employed by the Real County Sheriff's Office. Texas Ranger Ricardo Guajardo wrote in the warrant request. Guajardo accused Johnson of felony-level theft by a public servant and abuse of official capacity. Again, this happens every day. I agree it should be illegal, by the way. I agree it should be illegal. It should be illegal for the American citizens to have their property taken without due process as well. That's I want them to actually work on that one first before they're concerned about this one. But this should, at the end of the day, theft is theft, and theft because you have a badge is still theft. But let's work on prioritizing the abuse of American citizens first. I would think that might be a good idea. Let's see. And vehicle seizures were in violation of the state's relatively lenient civil asset forfeiture laws. Well, let's take a peek at what those are. What does this say? Here we go. Texas police made more than $50 million in 2017 from seizing people's property. Not everyone was guilty of a crime. Oh, okay. Here we go. Civil asset forfeiture is a tool supported by law enforcement leaders who say it is necessary for fighting crime, but panned by both liberals and conservatives who see it as a violation of American civil liberties, sometimes refer to it as policing for profit. It's a long-standing nationwide practice that has regained steam under the Trump administration. Come the fuck on. No, it did not regain steam under the Trump administration. It was going just fine prior to Trump. This is a bipartisan issue. Stop it. But faces constitutional challenges in court. When police seize a person's property, the onus falls on the owner to prove the property was innocent or not linked to a crime. The person doesn't fight the seizure in court, which is what happens in the majority of cases. They lose their property automatically. Many cases involve property worth no more than a few $1,000s, and attorney's fees can end up being more costly than the value of the property itself. Last year alone, law enforcement agencies and prosecutors throughout Texas grew their coffers by more than $50 million by seizing cash, cars, jewelry, clothing, art, and other property they claimed were linked to a crime. That includes property seized under both criminal forfeiture, which requires someone to first be found guilty of a crime, and civil forfeiture, which allows the state to sue the property itself and doesn't require a criminal charge. Texas Attorney General's office, which tracks these figures, did not distinguish between the two. This is amazing. Not all states have this process, even where you have to sue the property. A lot of times it's just taken, and the person has to sue their own property to get it back. That's how it works here in Minnesota. How much property and money was seized from people like Rodriguez who weren't charged with any crime? That information isn't collected in any meaningful way in Texas, and state lawmakers, at the urging of prosecutors and law enforcement, have resisted attempts to report more detailed information about asset forfeiture to the public. So that's what's going on. This is not talking about the illegales, right? This is back in 2018 when Trump is in power. When Trump was in power, they cared that civil asset forfeiture is happening at all. Now that Biden is in power, it's just when it's happening to illegal immigrants that it matters. Civil asset forfeiture is a cancer, and it should be excised. It is gross. Okay. Anyway, I just saw this, and it was two things. One, if you did any of this, right? If you just took someone's money, you'd go to prison. That's how they deal with that type of stuff. But two, I just found it amazing that they suddenly care about civil asset forfeiture. Like suddenly it's a big problem because it's happening to illegals at the border, which under the rules of civil asset forfeiture, again, I thoroughly disagree with civil asset forfeiture as a concept. I think it's an affront to essential liberty. However, there are sets of rules under civil asset forfeiture, right? It's why they can take something from you in the first place. Money held by someone across a border illegally is literally something, an asset in furtherance of an ongoing criminal enterprise, right? Because if you stop and get a hamburger while you're across the border illegally, then that money is supporting your illegal crossing of a border. So it's funny because if there is a case where civil asset forfeiture would probably apply, that's it. I mean, that it's clear as day that is how that should pan out under the logic that they use, right? Under the logic of, well, you've got this money, it must be for a drug deal, therefore we can take it, is nuts to me, but that's whatever. Never mind. Okay, so I only wanted to spend a minute on civil asset forfeiture. There was one more thing. I think my dad sent it to me. Just a second. Oh, someone else sent it too. And I think I have that window pulled up still. Oh, by the way, people, stop DMing me pictures of fat women. I don't want to see them. Like, why would you do this? I don't want that. Oh, here we go. Because it wasn't a picture. Two different people DM'd me a short video of a massive woman, absolutely massive woman standing up, and it took forever. It was horrifying to watch. Let's see. Don't do it. I'll make you watch him. You think it's so freaking hilarious. Yeah. You think that's funny.
No shit.
My editor made a bunch of clips.
Everything that guy just says bullshit. Thank you.
What's this one? I don't have my headphones in. I knew what those two were. Hold on. Oh, Monitor Chan, you're so big. It's tight. Here we go. There we go. All right. Now I can hear stuff. What other ones do we have? What is
unacceptable?
Oh shit.
There is no meme. This is just a threat.
Damn. What's this?
And I have a shotgun. Let me prove it.
What did you add all these for?
Am I wrong? You're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole.
Okay, there we go. Perfect. Some great clips. Great clip. Little reaction clips, I guess. Thank you. I don't know what we're going to do with those, but we'll figure it out. Here we go. Did you guys see this? You see this one? You see this one? We've got, this is from Steven Totilo. It says 2 cops were fired from the LAPD after they failed to respond to the report of a robbery and drove off to hunt a Snorlax in Pokimane Go. They appealed. They said it wasn't okay for squad car recording of them to be used against them, and they lost. For approximately the next 20 minutes, the DICVS, the in-car recording, captured petitioners discussing Pokemon as they drove to different locations where the virtual creatures apparently appeared on their mobile phones. On their way to the Snorlax location, Officer Mitchell alerted Officer Lozano that a Togetic had just popped up, noting it was on Crenshaw just south of 50th. And the officers... Here's what the officer said about that. So that's what the investigators heard on the recording. The petitioners denied playing a video game. They claimed they were merely having a conversation about Pokemon Go, and Officer Mitchell had been receiving text messages and alerts from a Pokemon Go players group where people were bragging about their scores. Detective McClanahan determined petitioners were not being truthful. So cops are driving around grabbing up Snorlaxes and Charizards and all that shit. It's like, sorry, look, I know there's a robbery going on in your house, but the real robbery is how many Pokeballs I'm losing to catch this Mewtwo. So that was just a short story. Oh, you bastard. I hate you too. I hate you people. Here. Here we go. Here's what was sent to me. Here's what was sent to me. If I have to suffer, you guys have to suffer. Okay? Here we go. Oh my God. Did they capture the Snorlax? They got it on video. I mean, I was amazed. I was amazed that she was able to stand up. That was amazing. And that was absolutely incredible. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Razor39T says, can you imagine thinking you're the hottest cop in your county as a sheriff, and then the department of Chuck Norris shows up to your stations with warrants? Time to civilly seize some Bowflexes. Lucifer Arc 1 says, have you seen the new leak on Fauci by Project Veritas? I have not. Okay, just DM'd me on Twitter. If it's a fat lady, I already. Oh, damn it! You should think through things. You should think through things before you say them on stream. Okay, Rob Price, what you sent me was different and awful. All right, here we go. Oh no, ew. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Let's get into this. Should we watch some Cannibro? DARPA was involved with Fauci. Yeah, I mean, I saw the gist of it, but I didn't watch the thing yet. Should we? I'm calling him Cannibro from now on. Let's see. Where is my video that I had? Oh, excuse me. Goodness gracious. Can I just stop yawning? That would be wonderful. Okay, so there's a couple different testimonies that I'm interested in on this case. I'm trying to figure out which one to watch. So the brother, Chandler's brother, testified. So that's there. And then of course there's the lesbian mom of Chandler's ex-girlfriend testified. Have I tried sleeping? It helps. Yeah, not enough. Do the brother. The brother is probably more appropriate time length because the lesbian mom is like an hour and 30 minutes. The brother's only 30 minutes. Brother testimonies in Nothing Burger. Oh, damn it. That's the question. That's always the question. We should maybe we should start the mom. the mom's testimony. Let's see what we got. Share screen. So here is the here's the testimony. I don't know how I can get caught up on this, but I gotta try. Oh, here, I'll really piss off law and crime. My name over my face over the logo. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That'll be funny. So remember how I talked about that lazy content of just watching something and reacting? Here we go. Ah, damn it.
Okay, please be seated, everyone.
Can we get this lady up on the...
I have to ask you two questions. First, I didn't hear myself. I don't know if the court reporter heard. Did you say
Take off
yes
your mask.
to the oath
Thank
that you
you.
swore? Nervous off your with you.
Lenter.
And Dulce, do you have a daughter named Catherine?
Do I have the wrong...
And does she go by the name Cat?
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, I have it on the wrong
And,
output for me.
For a while.
Doesn't matter
back
for you
last
guys.
year and maybe a little before, was Cat dating someone named Chandler Halderson?
Oh, there it is.
Yes.
And you got
Magic
to know
in my
Chandler
ear holes.
Halderson pretty well yourself, didn't you?
Yes. Yes.
Approximately, and it's okay if it's just kind of a range, how long do you think your daughter was dating Chandler?
Around 2 years.
And you would see Chandler pretty frequently?
Yeah, kind of, yes.
Okay. So there's this thing we're going to do now where the judge in 1 second is going to have everyone that is wearing a mask take them off just briefly. That's over here. And I'm going to ask you, do you see Chandler in the courtroom? So wait 1
She's
second.
hiding
I would
behind them.
ask if everyone who's not in the jury box would lower their mask for the count of three so that the witness can observe everyone's faces. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and replace your masks, please.
Ms. Mellinger, do you see Chandler in the courtroom?
Yes.
Can you tell me where he's sitting and kind of describe what his clothes are today?
He's sitting at the
He's
defendant's
wearing,
table. He's the one who's the defendant.
Blue tie and kind of white.
And is he sitting to my left over here?
Yes.
I'd ask the record reflect identification.
It will.
Oh,
Your daughter, in the course of dating Chandler, sometimes stayed with you and sometimes she had her own apartment, right?
Yes.
Okay. And what types of things would you do where you would see Chandler while they were dating?
He will cook.
Lucifer Arc 1 says, have you seen the new leak on Fauci by Project Veritas? No, I mean, I'm aware of it, but I haven't watched it yet.
We will cook, or we will be order beat-ups.
B-Dubs, Buffalo
Yeah.
Wild Wings?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And would you see him every day or every week or a couple times a month?
I don't know how to tell time.
Repeat the question again.
How often would you see him?
Often when Catherine wasn't home, yes.
Were you aware from Chandler if he had a
Like, I know
job,
B-Dubs is just
back
average
in
wings, but I really want one in my
2021 before all this
area.
happened?
He was working at what is the name of that? Can you give me a second?
Yeah.
I have to text and get my
He
answers.
was working at the swimming. I think he was the DNR or yeah.
Do you know what he was doing for them?
Well, he's a good swimmer, so he wasn't called to, I don't know, to
Swim.
rescue, to see something on the waters. I really, but it was something with the DNR, I remember.
He would get called to the rescues and things like that?
Yes.
He
very-
put a
I think it
DNR on
was
his
very-
parents
Yeah.
At some point, did Chandler get another job that you were aware of?
by burning
Oh,
them.
yes. I took
You can't really
Yes.
come back.
Tell me
from
about
that.
what job was that?
That was the American Family Insurance.
And what sticks out to you about remembering about Chandler working at American Family Insurance?
Well, I took him out to eat because he got the job, but he had people, a group of people, they were putting on for him. Yes,
So you took him out to eat when he got the job?
yes.
Where did you go to eat?
Oh, Mexican Rositas. He likes the tacos.
And was this kind of a celebratory dinner? Did people dress up and things like that?
Yeah, he was dressed up really nice.
And did Mr. Halderson
can
or
tell.
did Chandler tell you about the job that he was getting at American
He
Family
likes the
Insurance?
tacos.
Briefly, it was something about computers. You know, he's a computer guy.
And he was dating your daughter at this time?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Were you happy that your daughter's boyfriend had a job?
Yes,
Was that important to you?
Objection.
yes.
Overruled. The answer can stand.
Why?
What did that mean?
No, it was all legal nonsense. We'll just, it's all right.
It kind of was
So
legal
after
nonsense.
the time you take him out to celebrate getting the American Family job, you get Mexican food. Did Chandler ever talk to you much about his job at American Family Insurance?
American
Yeah, he
Family
was working at
Murder.
home. That's about it.
Did you know anything about exactly what he was doing?
Just computers.
Did
I
you know?
think-
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think it was just computers and also I think it was just computers.
Someone
Thinking back to that dinner
Commented
where you were
that
celebrating him,
they
getting the
weren't
job
going to
at
watch
American
this
Family.
anymore because
If,
I had
if you
no
had to give
respect
us
for
kind
the
of an
victims.
approximate time, do you know when
I
that
don't know
was?
why they would say that. I have no respect for the murderer and his girlfriend, who
think
I
it
think may
was-
be a murderer herself, but
Afternoon, mid-afternoon maybe. I don't quite remember.
What time of the year?
Oh,
Do you know if it was in the spring? Do you remember it all? It's okay if you don't.
no, I don't remember.
Who all went to that dinner?
Just him and I.
Oh, okay. You two together.
Yes.
Okay.
I asked him to meet me there.
Whose idea was it to go out?
Mine.
And because he had gotten the job,
Yes.
and you paid for dinner, I would imagine.
Yes. Yes.
that's weird.
So other than knowing he worked on some computer stuff and for American Family, did you know anything else about that job, really?
Well, he wanted to do the solar panels, but I don't know.
My mother-in-law never brought
I
just
don't
me
know
out for dinner.
The American
It was always with
family
someone
was
else.
getting him for the solar panels, but I know he was very good in computers.
Was Chandler around this time, was he going to school anywhere while he was working at American Family?
He said so, but he was never there. It's weird. He was only ever hanging around us all the time.
He was having, he was doing a credit because he was going to UW. So he was needed a credit to go to the UW.
Joel
I
Reese,
think-
you ain't right.
I think because Catherine.
Consuela from Family Guy.
Yeah.
No.
Did Chandler talk to you
Mr.
much
Superman,
about
he
going to
no
school
here.
and what classes he was taking?
Stop it.
No.
Stop
no.
it. Stop it. Stop.
It was one class that he needed to graduate.
He was about to graduate.
I think so.
Going into kind of the late spring of last year, so May and then into June and maybe the summer and into July, just before everything started, bad happened. Did Chandler get a new job somewhere else in the country?
Your Honor.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but can we approach real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's super leading question.
That nobody else can hear, so we use this white noise.
Oh no, here it comes. Oh. Hey. They didn't do it.
Good night.
That's hand sanitizer, though. We're not going to drink that.
Oh.
Yeah. Here, no, we have a bottle of water, Judge, right here.
Oh,
Sorry. You know, they make these look like water bottles.
I know.
That would have made a real interesting testimony.
I must take all the
Wow.
sanitizer.
Oh, speaking of hand sanitizer, I suppose I should start drinking. Right? Is that how this works?
Did Chandler ever talk to you about getting another job somewhere else in the country sometime this past year?
We'll start with some hand
Yes.
sanitizer.
Where was that job?
In Florida.
Do you know what he would be doing or where he'd be working?
He was supposed to be get samples, but I don't know of what. But
Oh, go ahead.
but he was going to Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
This stuff is so disgusting.
You know the very pricey cars. It's a very pricey car. I don't know the
a
name of the
Tesla.
car.
Is it, what's that car? Is it?
Oh, like $50,000 car.
Oh, I mean, depends
Tesla, yes.
Is it one of those?
But I think
like $50,000 car, like a Tesla. Oh yes, a Tesla. Oh right. So the car that isn't $50,000, that's the one that brought up the memory that it was a 50. That's a pretty cheap Tesla. All right, here we go. I'm going to answer this question out. Oh God, it smells awful. I'm going to answer this question, even though it's a little out of order, but Cooper Chauvin says, stupid question. Yes, it is, Cooper. If Master Chef was altered yet in a way that was not problematic for viewing, is it still copyright infringement? Example, you black out 1/10 of the screen on each edge. Yes, that's still problematic for viewing. To be transformative, it has to be significantly different from the original work. It has to be a new thing, not a cropped thing. So, but I saw that, and before it got too far, I wanted to make sure you got that answer. Here we go.
Tesla has another company that is from Tesla. I don't remember the name. I'm sorry.
Did Chandler share with you?
Just tell
I know
her.
you share a lot with your daughter, but I'm asking kind of what you knew just from Chandler.
Mhm.
Did he share with you any details about what this job was? What he could do?
For example, like one way to change it significantly, hypothetically, would be to take and alter the coloration so the skin tone of everybody was more yellow, so they looked more sick in the show. Like if you wanted to make it look like everybody was more sick than they are, like maybe they had COVID or something, and you really wanted them to look bad, you would take the video and you would not, rather than cropping off like 10% around the edges, what you would do is you just color treat it, right? To make them look more sickly. That would be an appropriate fair use thing done by, like, major media companies have done this. They've actually done that as a way to really get around and to make something into a new product.
He was going to get those samples, and he also was working for the solar panels too, because I think it has something to do. It's kind of an engineering job or something like that. Yeah.
Did it strike you as weird that he was getting an engineering job without having an engineering degree or any discernible skills or talents?
Yes. Yes.
Did he tell you personally, if he'd be making more money or less money? Did you talk about money at all about that?
But he says that he will have a good job. It will good money. Yeah.
Did Chandler ever talk to you about where he was going to down there? If he had gotten a house or anything like that?
It was an apartment that he showed me
How did he show you?
in his cell phone.
In the cell phone?
Say if you had a car or anything like that?
Yes. Yes.
Tell me what you knew about that from Chandler.
Well, Catherine has my car, And I say that, you know, Catherine, if you guys need a car, take my car. And the three of us, we were talking about the car in the apartment. And
The car and the apartment. I thought you said the car in the apartment.
I'm sorry, it's just a bad burp. And
I guess,
he,
Ryan.
He says there is cars over there. They are very cheap because older people they're kind of
Which one should I do?
they
Should I
don't
do this
drive
one?
anymore, or they're past, and then they have cars in there. So he was ordering the car, and I say that I will sign my car for them can sell it and then can buy maybe 2 cars. Oh, and then he was saying, oh, I will take care of it.
You mentioned your daughter. Was your daughter going to go check for what we did?
Yes.
Can you get on the fucking mic, please, lawyer?
Did Chandler talk to you about that? About having Catherine go with him?
The day that he brought Catherine home because she have an injury in her back, he did. He basically asked me.
Your permission.
Yeah.
What did you think about
Bigger me. We'll do bigger me then.
I was very worried.
Why?
She's my only daughter.
Can you switch them? No.
I was uncertain.
You're uncertain.
Yes.
I'm going to start asking you questions about kind of the 4th of July week. Okay? You remember the 4th of July weekend that we mentioned last
No,
year?
Ryan,
yes.
I can't do half and half. I can only do
On the 4th of July weekend,
me big or me small. That's
there were
it.
some plans to get together, right? With Catherine and Chandler and other people, right?
Yes.
You were living here in Madison at the time, right?
Yes.
But was it your fiance,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
has a farm kind of in a rural area of England, right?
Yes.
So it's Chris's farm, but you're engaged.
Yes. We got engaged in May.
In May.
Yes.
And Chris lives in that farm with her, the elderly farm.
Yes.
You go out there.
I live part-time there. Yes.
Judge, sorry again, but can we approach?
She's like, what the hell is this questioning? Like, what are we even doing here? And that's the ultimate issue that's going on right now. Why is he wasting time on this? This is such an easy, this case is not difficult, right? Like, if they're not going after the chick, the question is how hard do they want to go after the dude? And you don't need all this background shit. Fuck you, court. Oh my God.
So tell me about what the plan was on the 4th of July.
Well, we have a swimming pool, and we ask if they want to swim, they can swim, or just eat, and yeah.
Where were you going to have this get together?
Oh, at the farm. Yeah.
Can you tell the jury a little bit about what does it look like?
Do I have to face them?
You're facing me.
But do pull the microphone a little bit closer because the fans seem fairly noisy right now. Go ahead.
It's like a paradise. It's peaceful. It's green, and it's flowers that you don't see.
What good are flowers that you don't see?
It's just beautiful.
So the 4th of July weekend, who all went to the farm for this evening?
Chandler, Catherine, James, one of James' friend, Chris, Michael, and Papa, and me.
Did Chandler talk at all at the 4th of July get-together about having suffered any sort of injuries lately, head injuries or things of that sort?
Objection
I beg your
leading.
pardon?
Did Chandler ever tell you around that time about suffering any sort of concussion or head injury?
Oh, we knew. I knew that he had a concussion. Yeah, he fell.
And was Chandler acting the same or differently than usual on the 4th of July?
He was kind of okay, quiet. But yeah, he was sitting at the table with the other kids. So
What
Kids.
things did you do that day?
They're all adults.
We ate, and we were waiting that the kids will be going and use the pool, and then went and used the pool actually.
Jews the pool. Oh my.
Just happy that the kids weren't home.
And the kids used the pool?
Yeah.
Did Chandler-
Catherine and James' friend used the pool. Yes. I don't know if Chandler got into the pool, but I think Chandler always was cleaning the debris. Yeah.
Cleaning the pool?
Yeah. Yeah.
The next day, do you know if Chandler went back to the farm on July 5th, which would be a Monday?
Yes.
And how did you become aware that Chandler went back to the farm?
Because Catherine texted me.
Oh, okay.
Did you then go out to the farm?
I fly to the farm. Yes.
Why do you fly to the farm?
Fly to the farm?
I was just worried.
What?
Can I have 1 minute?
There's another bottle of water on the floor.
Oh.
I know there's a smell.
Okay, so she flew to the farm because she was just worried.
Do you need a break?
Yes.
Do you think that you need more than just a few moments outside of the courtroom?
Just a few minutes right
Okay.
now.
I'll go ahead and excuse the witness. Don't talk about your testimony with anyone, but you can go back to where Ms. Brown is in the vestibule.
Into the vestibule. No, I know she didn't literally fly there. Guys, I get it that she went super fast, but again, I'm suspicious of all of this stuff. So her daughter texts her, by the way, my beau is headed up to the farm to go swimming or whatever. So she,
If it's all right with the jury, we'll just stay. You can stand up if you need to or stretch.
so she
But I
went
think
really
if we excuse
fast.
ourselves and come back, we'll lose additional time, as you know better than I, how long it can take.
She went really fast to the farm because she was just worried. That doesn't make sense. Why? What the hell is she so worried about? I'm going to be right back, guys. I got to go to the bathroom, which is a rookie mistake that I made, not having already gone. I'll be back in just a second. You won't miss anything. Should I play the whiskey peeing lawyer song? I'll do that real quick. Yes, I know there's a misspelled word in here. You can blame the editor.
He drank a fair bit and then realized that his bladder can't handle the liquor inside, leaving us with his chair while he runs up the stairs, hoping the stream doesn't suddenly die. While we are waiting, we'll be laughing at you. The drinking along is what to scrub both the front and the back. Then you'll grab a quick bite, kiss your lady goodnight, and remember to thank her for all of the snacks. Whoa, water will cure your hangover. Oh, drink some when the stream is over. When you have small bladder and no sphincter control, freedom of liquor doesn't mean freedom from soaking your drawers. Soaking your drawers.
Okay. Took me longer than the song. Maybe you fixed the. Did you fix the video? Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. You did fix the typo. Yeah. Okay, I thought so. Okay, here. Okay. We'll start watching the video again. God. Great going through
That-
puberty again.
that Chandler can wait by the driveway because my fiance sometimes is a big farm, so sometimes she just like to be with just no top.
Oh,
In the pool.
To go to the pool, yeah, she just put her shorts to go to the pool.
okay. So sometimes her fiance likes to just head out to the pool or whatever. It's a big farm without a top on. Jason the Great Awakening says the number of people profiting from today scares me. It's easily 100 times Nazi Germany. What do you mean profiting from today, Jason? Like today specifically, the 10th of January, or what are we talking about? Or do you just mean COVID or what?
And no top. So I was worried that he might.
Prior to that day, when you found out that Chandler was maybe going out there by himself, are you aware if Chandler had gone out to the farm much before by himself, alone, without Kat?
Glasses are on.
So the better question is, do you know if Chandler usually went out there by himself?
In his mind, he's got dotted lines on her. He's like sirloin, loin, tenderloin, chuck, eye.
No, Chandler will never go to the farm without Catherine.
So this would have been the first time that you're aware of?
Yes,
So you drive out to the farm. You flew out there, I think you said.
yes, because I was worried that Chandler will had the shock of his life, seeing my partner.
When you get there, do you talk to your partner, Cress?
When I got there, it was Chandler and Chris talking on the porch.
You know what they were talking about? Did you overhear it?
But I opened the door and And Chandler looked like sad, kind of sleepy, like, you know, those, like, I don't know. He did not look okay to me. But I didn't hear what they were talking until Chris says there was some news.
Okay. There was some news. Do you know what the news was? Did you hear Chandler talk about it? What was that news?
That he didn't get a job.
Which job?
Oh,
The one in Florida.
Okay. Do you know why he didn't get that job?
Because he couldn't.
because I took him to dinner.
He was supposed to be there, but his brother got sick, so he couldn't go. And the next time he fell and couldn't go, and I think they couldn't hold the job anymore because he can't go. He couldn't fly to Florida.
He couldn't fly the
Because of the
SpaceX
fall?
rocket into space.
The concussion, his concussion was really bad.
What did Chandler ask to do, or what happened next at the farm?
Well, we were very supportive. We were like, you know, he lost a good job, and I was worried about him putting on money for the apartment, and Chris and I were trying to find out how can we help him.
I mean, this can go a couple different
because
ways.
He looked really, really
like the Cinemax remake of this would be
down
amazing.
Did you all stay together, or did some point Chandler go somewhere else on the farm?
We were talking, and then after that, he basically excused
Did he ever ask you to rub barbecue sauce all over your body?
himself to go swimming.
And did he go by himself, or did you go with him at that point?
No, he went by himself.
Okay. What did you and Cress do while Chandler was swimming?
We were trying to figure it out how to help them, how to help him. He just got a concussion. I was very upset with Krista because why she wasn't to taking him that day. He has a doctor's appointment.
He thought his mom should have been there.
Yeah, so we were talking about as a mom, I was very upset with his mom.
Oh.
How long?
So now we have the girlfriend testifying that she was upset with the mom, in fact, with text messages. We've got the mom of the girlfriend testifying that she was upset with his mom as a mom. We've got the body being dumped on their farm that he never goes to alone except this time. And they're the only ones who know that he happened to go there alone. Just them. This man, amazing.
At some point, did you go down to the pool to check on Chandler with Chris?
Yeah, we were. I was asking Chris what we're gonna have for dinner. I bring chicken, and she was very upset. And it was a while.
How long do you think it was before you went down to check on Chandler at the pool?
I don't know, probably half an hour maybe, or a little bit longer, because I don't know. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But
did you go alone, or did you and Chris go together?
no, we got together. Oh yeah, of course.
And how did you get down to that area?
We flew. We flew down. We fly everywhere.
Use a little car where we mowed the lawn.
A lawnmower?
Yeah, a lawnmower.
You rode a
So
lawnmower?
I basically inherited the lawnmower that Papa used to use, and so we, like a two grannies going.
You were both on the lawnmower?
Yes.
Okay.
You and your lesbian fiance, instead of just walking, hopped on a lawnmower to get to the pool. That's one of the most troubling details of this entire case. And this is a case about someone who left ahead of their parents in a fireplace after burning it and cleaning it.
Did you drive down toward the pool?
Well, we drove to the pool, yes.
Tell me about where you went as you were driving.
What do you mean?
Yeah, where did you go first when you started driving down to the pool?
Well, we went to the pool. It's on a little hill. So we went and we didn't see Chandler swimming. We didn't see anything. So we turned right and, we saw the car and I thought he was sleeping.
Where was the car in relation to the pool? Was it close or farther away?
Oh.
Is
Would it
there
help
a
if I showed
map
you a
of this
map?
property?
Oh, yes.
A photo?
Sure.
Oh,
Oh, a
yes.
photo, yeah.
I have a huge photo of the farm.
Oh,
Okay.
That'll be great.
I'm gonna show
Thank
you.
you.
I told you it was big. It's number 57. Is that the
I
farm
told you it was big.
from above?
Oh,
Like an airplane?
It is so big.
yes. That is the shed.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the house, you cannot see it because
Show
it's
the
a lot
map.
of trees.
Sure.
But can I point it?
Yeah, so here's what I'll do. Does this look to be like what the farm would have looked like back in July, except for all of these police cars that are kind of involved? But otherwise, is this what the farm looked like?
Yes.
All right, I'll move 57 into evidence.
Any objections?
No objection.
It is received. It may be published.
All right, so I'm going to move this a little bit closer to you, okay?
Okay.
And you can stand up if you'd like. How about if you could you point, where's the driveway meet the road? Where's the entrance to the farm?
Right over here.
Follow it all the way down and
Now you can see it.
right there. All right, I'll hold on to this.
Over here.
And where's the house? Can you point to that?
Oh, right.
You can kind of see the roof.
Okay.
That is the house. This is the other shed.
And where's the pool that we're talking about? Okay. Now, if you could, kind of standing off to the side so these folks can see you, if you could point to, maybe just take your finger and trace the way that you drove down to the pool on that lawnmower.
We always drove this way.
Okay. And the pool is here. Where did you say you saw Chandler's car?
Oh, about right here.
Okay. And you said you thought he was sleeping?
Yeah, the back of the car, the trunk was open, so I thought he was sleeping.
You know what I do? When I see someone who's never been alone to my property ever, in a place that is far away from anywhere that they would have any reason to be, with the trunk open, I go, oh yeah, I thought he was sleeping. What? You thought he was sleeping? You thought that someone with their trunk open 200 yards away from the pool, past the barn and anything discernible at all, in an area that they've never been to, at a farm that they've never attended without their girlfriend, was just sleeping one off in the car with his trunk open. I mean, who doesn't, frankly, sleep with the trunk of their car wide open? I mean, I know when I'm going to sleep in my car, what I do is I open the trunk first, just in case. What? I have so many problems. This should be straightforward. This should be so simple, right? He shoots, chops, bites, buries, scatters. It should be simple, but these people are making it difficult because none of this makes any sense to me. I don't act in this way, so I don't understand how these actions are going on. Anani14107 says, what a loon. This is painful to listen to. Could it get any worse? Yeah, realizing that she spawned a daughter who does video chats in the shower with her boyfriend who likes to slice and dice. Benihana, anyone? I could go for some teppanyaki right now. Not even lying.
And did you drive your lawnmower? Did you folks drive over by that car to look in? And what did you see?
I saw something that was a little bit metal. It looks like
I'll temporarily blow it up. I mean, you can't for the map.
it's like a little,
Like a ramp?
yeah, like a little ramp,
Okay.
like a gray kind of.
Bill, you want to move the mic? It's really difficult to hear.
Sure.
Yep.
How about you take a seat real quick, and we'll keep asking
And while we're
questions.
moving, let me just reflect for the record that if you think of the upper half of the picture and the middle of the upper half, the witness indicated that the road from the access road to the driveway to the house is in the upper middle portion of the half. You can see a small amount of roadway. She traced her finger through the woods, demonstrating that the house is within the wooded area in that upper quadrant, identified the swimming pool as a round shape, and indicated that the driving with herself and Cress on the lawnmower was from the area approximately where the house was down to the back of the shed, and indicated that the vehicle of Mr. Halderson was lower into the lower half of the picture, approximately where you can see some unidentified objects that don't appear to be cars. Is that accurate, counsel?
Cars.
That's fair. Well, why don't you, if you could, one more time, point to where Mr. Halderson's car was when you drove down there?
Thanks,
That's the part
Judge,
I
for
couldn't see
testifying
as
for the
well.
witness and clarifying for the. Thank you, Judge, for
All right. And so,
like the defense attorney should have objected there. The judge was just characterizing for the jury what the witness said. That was completely improper. Like the judge should not be doing that. Why would the judge tell the jury what they just heard? I mean, that was wild. Sorry, I'm eating these Reese's.
we'll just say that is approximately 3 inches below the barn on the photograph.
And in between the cars and the other items, if you were to split that distance kind of at an intersection between a line south if you view north as the top of the picture of the barn, intersecting with a line between those
Barn.
white cars and the other objects.
That's fine. All right.
No, I'm not going to speed up the video because if we're watching a trial, I want people to experience the witness the way the jury experiences the witness the best we can. So I don't actually like speeding up testimony.
Any problem with that description, counsel?
No.
All right, thank you.
Yes,
And we have
you
to do
should
that
have a
'cause we're
problem.
typing out the court record. So when we point to things, the judge will describe what they are sometimes. So you saw the car.
I don't agree with that.
You said the back was open and you saw maybe a ramp type thing. Did you see Chandler in that car?
No. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
No.
Um,
I'm sorry.
There we go.
Sorry. No.
Chandler wasn't in the car.
No.
At that time, when you're looking at the car, did you see where Chandler was right then?
No.
Did you know where Chandler was?
No.
What did you and Crest do?
But she was upset. And I said, well,
I'm going to object at this point.
Hearsay.
I'm sorry, object to.
Hearsay.
Hearsay that may come out.
I'm sorry.
Possible hearsay that may come out.
What? I'm sorry.
Attorney Brown will rephrase the question to make sure he's asking what you thought or said.
Sure. And you know Crest is going to testify next, right?
Oh,
In
yeah.
this case. So the jury is only going to hear from you now and then Crest next. So anything she said, we'll hear from her. But what did you and Crest do at that time? Not what was said, but what did you do?
We went to the pool.
Okay. You jumped in the pool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jumped in.
Was it just you and Crest in the pool?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
At some point while you were in the pool, did you see Chandler or figure out where Chandler was?
No, he was coming to the pool.
Okay. You saw him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
if you could, I'm gonna have you stand up and point to where did you see Chandler coming from the first time you saw him while you were in the pool? All right.
The pool is right here.
Okay. And did you see where he'd come from before that? Okay. I'll note the witness just pointed to the right of the barn, essentially. That's fine.
Thank you. That does appear to be accurate. Counsel for the defense agrees. Perfect. We have the what you pointed to reflected accurately in the record. Thank you.
Okay.
What did Chandler do? You saw him coming. Where did he go, or what did he do?
He asked if he can get in the pool with us.
And what did you say?
Jess.
I was like, I was like, no.
No.
But I say it myself, no.
Why?
Why?
Because Chris didn't have clothes on the top.
She didn't have a top on.
Why are you crying about this?
Um,
Why are you crying?
Did Chandler, what happened next? Did Chandler go away? Did he get in the pool? What happened?
He got in the pool.
What did Chandler do once he got in the pool?
She didn't have a top on. Whoosh. Dives in. Oh my gosh. I mean, you know the guy's there. Why are you tits out for Harambe at this point? Like, why is that the plan? Like, well, but he's sleeping in his car though. Woohoo, girls, here we go. Why is that what you're doing? I mean, don't get me wrong. When when I go into my hot tub alone at night and no one's around, like Christopher one, when I go into the hot tub alone at night, no one's around. I sometimes, always, I'm never wearing pants. Yeah, because I mean, why would you, right? Like you're alone, but you know someone's there. You know someone's at the house.
He was just, he was looking, he was looking to the horizon.
And he was he in the water?
horizon.
Yes.
What was he doing in the water physically? Was he moving around? Was he swimming?
He was like going underwater and, putting on water on his body and,
So you're making those motions on your arm. And this is one of those weird things because we have to type down everything that's happening. How would you describe what he was doing when you put your hands on your arms?
like he was, putting on water. When you put water and.
So staring off kind of through that field toward the horizon and
yes, because Chris is behind me and I put my body to kind of shield her, but Chandler was looking to the horizon. And then he turned around and then he was getting more on the water and he was like underwater. Like,
was he saying anything?
Was he in a swimsuit? Was he naked?
Not much. The water was nice and warm, but.
Did you or Cress ask Chandler where he had been?
Objection to the form of the question.
Sustained. You can rephrase.
Did Chandler tell you where he had been?
No, I thought he went for a walk. Because he wasn't in the car, he was walking. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's what I said to Chris.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question. If you don't remember, that's okay. But when Chandler was walking toward the pool and right before he got in, did he still have all his clothes on or did he have some of his clothes off?
He had his shorts on, and he didn't have his. I think his shirt was off. Yeah, I think so.
So tell me if I'm remembering this correctly. So you see him walking, coming from next to the barn. As you see him, he's wearing his shorts, but not his shirt. He gets in the pool. He stares off kind of toward the horizon, and he is splashing water onto himself. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Did he tell you anything at all about what he was going to do next or what his plans were that day?
Yes, he was going to my place because Catherine was making his favorite. And we asked what was his favorite. And he says McDonald's.
He said he's going to go get McDonald's.
McDonald's. And I said, Catherine is a lazy. She should not make McDonald's.
Make McDonald's?
Something better.
I'm like, yeah. I mean, they always cook good food in the house.
Sure.
The mom criticizing the daughter to the boyfriend while her significant other is naked behind her in the pool. This is a weird fucking setup, man. This is a weird setup.
How long were you in the pool with Chandler? You and Cress and Chandler. How long did that last?
I don't know. Probably, I don't remember how long, but I mean, we were still, I think maybe 15 minutes, maybe.
Do you know how it ended? Did everyone get out at the same time or did
No.
How did it end with Chandler at least being there?
Chandler, after Chandler, went and swim for a little bit. He didn't swim because he didn't even wet his hair. After he went and
How would you
just
describe his
splashed himself,
nipples?
then he get out of the pool and then I feel more comfortable, and so.
Chandler left at that point?
Yes.
Yes, these are Wendy's spicy chicken Pringles.
Well, he has to go back to pick up his car.
He has to go back.
And did you see him after that, or did
Wrong.
You leave at that
You
point
need to go
after he
back.
got his car?
Frankly, you
No,
need to go
he
back.
just went, got his car, and then drove off, and we just waved him. We was very happy that he came, but which was strange because Catherine wasn't with him, but.
At any point the day before the 4th of July when you were out there, or this day, the July 5th, Monday, so Sunday or Monday when you see Chandler, does he tell you that his parents are anywhere, at a cabin or anything like that?
Yes, he says that they were going up north, went up north. But that was
a leading
that was
question.
Sunday. They already left, and I already knew because, I already knew.
Did Chandler ever express any concern to you about where his parents were? That he was worried about them at all?
He looked worried, yeah.
He looked worried? But maybe, did he say anything about that or just looked worried?
No, he didn't say too much about it. But on Tuesday, that was different.
Right. And we're going to go there in 1 second, but one more question about the July 4th and July 5th when you see Chandler out at the farm. Would you describe the way he was acting, his behavior?
Objection leading.
We'll hear the full question.
Would you describe his his behavior or the way he was acting, was that normal for Chandler? Was it different than usual?
It was a little bit different.
What do you
On
mean?
that Sunday?
Yeah, let's talk about Sunday or even
Yes.
Monday the next day. What do you mean by different?
Sunday when he was kind of okay and with the kids because the kids sit down in the same table and they were interacting, but for some reason Chandler was a little bit more quiet in a way, but he was, and he looked kind of also sleepy.
On the 4th of July?
Yeah.
What about the next day?
Tired. The next day, I'm sorry, I just thought that Chandler was so depressed that he probably took his mom's pills because she had cancer. So I thought,
Holy shit, object. She did.
what?
May we approach?
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. We're going to talk
Yeah.
again.
You can't have her speculating about the drug use and mental state of the defendant. I mean, come on. Did she see him take the pills? Oh my gosh.
I'm going to ask the question a different way. Sometimes when we do that, I'll rephrase the question, meaning I'll ask it a different way. You've talked to police a lot in this case, right? And told them what
Right.
happened?
Right.
Fair to say that you've described that day, the 5th, when Chandler was out there, that he was acting kind of dopey
Fair to say, let me tell you your testimony so you don't fuck it up again.
and just way different than usual, maybe.
Right.
Okay. Now, after this day is over and Chandler leaves, that's the 5th. So you saw him on July 4th, 4th of July, everyone's out. July 5th, he's out using the pool. You see him a couple days later, right? Tell me about that.
The next day?
Yeah.
Well, it was Tuesday, so we had beat-ups.
Sure. Is that your normal thing?
Yeah.
You have some Buffalo Wild Wings that day?
Yeah.
They still do cheap wing night
that's a
on
family
Tuesdays?
Yes, Chandler, James, and Catherine and I, we like beat-ups. So we always buy what my son's likes, what Catherine likes, what Chandler likes, and what I like. And it's just the 4 of us.
You know what they used to do? Leg Wednesdays. They would do the wing Tuesdays and then leg Wednesdays. So it was 50 cents per drumstick leg, not the bitch little wing drummies, a real full drumstick leg, 50 cents a piece. So you could go in for $5 and get 10 B-dubs chicken legs. It was the best. Oh my gosh, they were way better than the wings because they had more meat to them. Oh my God.
And that was on Tuesday?
Yes.
Because it's buy one, get one free, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
I think so too. And you've mentioned James a couple times. James is your son.
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
And this was at your house?
Yes.
Okay. Did Chandler say anything? And now, again, I'm only looking for things Chandler said to you, not James or Catherine. They're, that's a different thing. But did Chandler say anything to you when you guys were doing the Buffalo Wild Wings night about his parents or where they were?
He was just worried because his parents he wasn't here from his parents yet.
Okay. Did he tell you anything more about that?
No.
What is his hair doing?
How was he acting on this day?
Tired. Sad.
Like
in
on a
way,
car?
maybe.
At some point, did you find out that Bart and Krista Halderson were missing? Like the people were looking for them and they didn't know where they were?
Well, 2 times it was brought up that they were missing. And on Tuesday, I questioned myself. how they're missing. And I question saying, I will say that I didn't hear from my parents, or my parents hasn't called me, or I would not say missing unless I know they were missing.
And I know other people may have, but did you personally talk to Chandler about filing a police report or what to do about his parents missing, what actions he should take?
No.
Did you know Bart and Krista Halderson very well yourself?
No. I just know what Chandler told me.
Okay.
Yeah. And Catherine, of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take a break now for just 1 second. So if you want to get a drink of water, but it'll just be about 30 seconds, okay?
Can I just
Sure. Counsel, the witness would like to use the restroom, so I'm going to excuse her to go do that as you consult, and then
I
she'll
love
come
it.
right back.
She asks, and then he tells the whole, like discreetly, and then he tells the whole court anyway. Great. You know, you can mute your mic while chomping loudly into it or drinking, right? That's what the cough button is for. I don't actually have a cough button. So shows what you know. I mean, I have a mute button. Well, sort of. It's the volume knob. But just because of that. That was for you. That was for you. Lick the mic again. I'll just do a Jack Murphy impression. Sorry. That was gross.
I'll just leave this.
Like this? Hmm.
Thank you. Attorney Brown. No further questions. All right. Attorney Vera, did the defense wish to engage in cross-examination at this time?
Yes, thank you.
All right, let's see what great cross-exam the
Would you
defense has
prefer if I call
prepared.
you Dulce or Ms. Belanger?
Dulce.
Okay. I promise I'm not as scary as I make it seem right now. Sometimes I just have to tell Bill not to do things, and that's what we're doing. Okay. So I
What a weird intro. Very weird intro. The Kenosha kid says, how did they get Consuela to testify? Does she need more lemon pledge? You can put this $20 towards more lemon pledge.
just have a couple questions for you.
That's no surprise at all.
And I know you may not like this topic, but I just want to clear up some points. When you were talking about Cress in the farm and in the pool, she was topless, correct?
Yes.
And it makes you uncomfortable, correct? Talking about it.
Very.
So when we saw you, that was just you being uncomfortable about Cress being topless and Chandler having to see that, correct?
Both.
Both the fact that she was topless and the fact that Chandler had to see.
No, that the fact that she was topless and that Chandler came in the pool.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. But as far as Chandler making you feel uncomfortable, that's not something that you were feeling personally. It was just the situation with Cress being topless. And let me ask it this way. That day.
This is cross-exam. She can lead the witness. In fact, she is supposed to.
In the pool on the 5th, it was just a weird situation. Is that fair?
It was very weird, the whole thing.
The whole thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Chandler was acting dopey. I think that's what the DA used.
Yes, but also I know Chandler that he is very polite, so I was like kind of surprised how there he went in the pool when Chris was topless, and he made me uncomfortable for that.
And that makes total sense. I would react that way too. Now, as far as your interactions with Chandler go, you mentioned that you took him out to dinner.
It wasn't dinner. It was more like lunch. I think I say it was midday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you took him out for lunch and it was just you and him, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Was that the first time you had interactions with Chandler where it was just you and him?
Yes.
And
it the
most of the
last
times
time?
he's with Kat, correct?
Yes.
And you also mentioned something about whenever it's him and Kat and you guys cook. Is that correct?
Didn't cook. Yeah. Chandler is, yes.
Does Chandler help out?
Chandler likes to make good salmon. So yeah, Catherine and Chandler, they didn't cook.
So
they
they
leave
cook
a mess, but yeah.
as they do.
Yeah.
So they cook, you take advantage, but then you have to clean. Is that fair?
Well, I have to clean, yeah.
Is the food worth it at least?
I beg your pardon?
Is the food worth the cleaning? Sorry, is the food worth the cleaning that you have to do?
Oh, yes, Chandler is a good cook.
When you have to ask your tension-breaking joke question 3 times, just move on, honey. Just move on. If it doesn't work in the exact moment that you ask it, just never mind. We'll keep going.
And I have the same problem you do, or sometimes I need to speak into the mic, so that's why I'm sitting down right now.
Okay.
So in general, your interactions with Chandler and Kat, they're good, yes?
In some ways, yes.
And Chandler is a quiet person, correct?
Yes.
And we'll see your daughter later, but she brings out some of Chandler's funniness, if you will.
Yes. He can be funny.
He can be funny, but normally he's just quiet. He's a quiet guy.
I think is when they were together. I mean, he was kind of funny. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
The prosecution should be objecting here. Like, that's weird questioning.
In a way, yeah.
I mean,
Juno.
yes, we're all funny in a way. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not all
I
of
don't
us.
have any other questions for you. Thank you so much.
Any redirect?
No.
May this witness be excused and released?
Excuse.
Okay. You're excused from testifying any further today, or at least this morning. But the state is maintaining you under subpoena, which means you can't discuss your testimony with anyone else. And they'll let you know when you're released from the subpoena itself. All right? Thank you. And you can take the water with you. Thank you.
If you
very much.
discuss this testimony with your girlfriend, make sure she has her
Oh, if
tits
it's all
put
gone,
away.
That's fine too. Thank you.
All right, let's skip ahead to the elbow, the other one. All Showtime illusions about the tits in the pool are immediately shattered.
Good morning.
Morning.
If you believe you can do so safely and responsibly, testifying without a mask would be
Oh my
our
God,
preference.
Gary
Would that be
Busey.
something you could feel that you could do today?
No.
All right, if you prefer to maintain your mask, I understand. Pull the microphone much closer because it does muffle our sound naturally.
Okay.
And if I have trouble hearing you and I'm really close to you, I'll ask you to do even closer just so everybody who's a little further away can hear. And as you can hear, the blowers are on.
I wonder how Gary Busey was doing after his cocaine thing, right? Yeah. Here I am in court, going to testify about this cannibal.
This morning, so it muffles sound a little bit. Thank you.
Okay.
Please proceed, Attorney Raymond.
Thank you. Could you please state your full name, both first and last for the record, and then spell both your first and last name?
Crescent Lasai, Cresent L'Sai.
And Ms. Lasai, do you know somebody by the name of Dulce Melander?
Yes, I do.
How do you know her?
She's my girlfriend.
Okay. And does she refer to you often as Cress?
Yes, everyone mostly does. And you
Okay.
can as well.
And do you know somebody by the name of Catherine Melander?
Yes, I do.
How do you know her?
I know her through Dulce. She's her daughter.
And through Catherine or Kat, did you become acquainted with somebody by the name of Chandler Halderson?
Yes.
And the judge will probably ask everyone to remove their mask.
It probably explains right now why they took the lawnmower down to the pool, at least. I mean, she walked up to the witness stand. She is breathing as if her lungs have both been punctured.
Asks besides you and the jury, but could you see Mr. Halderson Chandler in the courtroom today?
Yes, I do.
As you look at the faces, I'll ask everyone not in the jury box to lower their mask and then replace their mask, please. Go ahead and answer the question if you could.
Yes.
Could you just let us know where he's seated and perhaps the color of his shirt?
Well, he's sitting over across the room over there. He's got a blue tie on.
Okay, I'd ask the record to reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
It shall.
What sort of relationship did you have with Chandler in June or so of 2021?
This year?
Yes.
Well,
last year technically because it's January, but yes.
true, yeah. Well, I didn't spend a whole lot of time with Chandler. I to know him through Catherine mostly. Most
Sure.
of the times I saw him were either get-togethers or through her.
Okay. And roughly, where do you live?
In Cottage Grove, in the
Okay.
town.
In a rural part of Cottage Grove?
Yes.
And just while I approach you, I'm gonna put my mask on.
Thank you.
Nobody's ever complained I was quiet.
I'm going to put my mask on, but I'm going to come up and
I'm
lick
gonna
your
show you what's
eyeball.
been marked and received as Exhibit 57. Is this an overhead picture of your property in Cottage Grove?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So your house, you can barely see the roof right there. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's in the wooded area.
Okay. And that's like the top half, almost right in the middle of Exhibit 57. And this is a barn or a shed?
Yeah, it's an old tobacco shed.
Okay. And right here, this is a pool?
Right
Yes.
here.
Okay. And all of this wooded area, is that your property?
Yes,
And there's more property over here that's not shown.
true. That's correct.
What is on that property?
You mean the part that's unseen?
Yeah.
It's all grassy area. It's in the CRP program, a set-aside program, so it's just for wildlife.
So it's like wildflowers.
It's in the Coach Red Pill
Some
program.
people might describe it as like a briar, like little
Yeah,
bushes.
Yeah, there's actually wild raspberries and things that can grow in there, right?
Before July 4th weekend, how many times approximately had Chandler been out to your property?
Oh, I couldn't say exactly. I could give you an estimate.
Sure,
You
an
know what?
estimate is just fine.
Like 10 or 12 times, maybe.
Okay. And did he ever come out there prior to the July 4th weekend by himself, or was he always with somebody else?
He always was with someone else. He'd never come out there alone before that I'm aware of.
Okay. And generally, I assume that was his girlfriend, Kat?
Yeah, she was always with him.
Okay. And
Ask the
prior to
question.
July 4th weekend, what understanding did you have as far as what Chandler did for a living?
Well, what I understood is he'd gotten a job at American Family. He was working there as far as I knew.
And did you have any understanding as if he was attending school or not?
I wasn't, I knew he had been in school, but I didn't know if he was going to school recently, but I knew he was in school. He was getting
Okay.
ready to graduate.
I like how she knows better about what he's doing than the
Do
other
you
lady.
see Chandler Halderson over the July 4th weekend?
Yes,
And what day did you see him?
on Sunday.
So July 4th itself.
Yes.
How did Mr. Halderson behave on that day?
Well, he kind of seemed a little lot not like himself. if that
Can
makes
you
sense.
describe that? What do you mean by that?
He just seemed kind of off, like kind of weird, actually.
Okay.
I mean, I remember asking him how he felt, because he just kind of seemed.
Okay. You asked him how he felt. What did you remember how he responded?
Yeah, he just said, "Oh, I'm doing okay, or I'm doing the best that I can," and because he had an accident, he fell down the stairs or something. So I thought maybe it
I'm
was
doing the
because of
best
the
I
accident
ever
that he was
did.
acting off.
Sure. Was he displaying any physical symptoms on
Godsmack.
July 4th?
Not that I saw, no.
Okay. Was he wearing a neck brace at all on July 4th when you saw him?
No,
Did he act in any way that he seemed like disabled? Did he have any trouble walking or anything like that?
no, I didn't notice that.
Okay. Did you have any one-on-one conversations with Chandler on July 4th?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, shortly after he was done eating, the kids were sitting at the table in my family room. And
This
they had
lady
gotten up and
sweats
I was
Wisconsin.
kind of walking towards the kitchen, and he approached me and asked me if he could have my phone number, my personal phone number,
Whoa.
because he wanted to know if he could come and use the pool.
Okay. Did you give him your number?
Yeah, I gave him my cell number, and I also gave him my landline,
Okay.
because I don't always answer my cell phone, and I don't
And my
have
Instagram
voicemail
and
on
my
cell phone.
Snapchat. And
Okay. Did you guys have any further discussion on that day?
I don't recall.
Okay. So obviously prior to July 4th, he didn't have your number to your knowledge.
Not to my knowledge, I didn't give it to him.
Okay. And in all fairness, when you hung out with Chandler prior to July 4th, it was always with other people,
Yes,
namely Dulce and her family.
correct.
Okay. As of July 4th, did you have any knowledge about the whereabouts of Chandler's parents?
No, I didn't even know their names.
Did you know whether or not, had you heard any stories or anything about them being missing at this point?
No,
Okay. Let's fast forward to the next day, Monday, July 5th. Did you have any interactions with Chandler on Monday, July 5th?
yes.
What's the first interaction you had with Chandler on that day?
The first interaction was I opened up my window. I live in a 2-story, and I saw a car in my driveway. I came in from outside to get a drink of water, and I saw a car, and I didn't recognize the car. And someone was standing in my driveway, and it was Chandler. So I
Okay.
opened the window because he was kind of standing holding
He's
his
holding a
phone and-
boombox like this,
and looking
playing
around,
80s
and
love songs.
So I opened the window and I said, I asked him if he was okay. And he said, yeah. And I said, are you here to use the pool? And he said, yeah, would that be all right? And I said, yeah, sure.
Were you expecting Chandler that day?
No,
All right. So do you remember about what time he showed up to use your pool? Just approximate, if you remember.
it was in the afternoon. I just remember coming in. It was really hot that day. I was working on a project. And so I came in to get a drink of water. So it was probably mid-afternoon-ish, I would say.
Okay. And what was Chandler like when you talked to him right there about using the pool? Was there anything noteworthy?
You mean when he was in the driveway?
Yeah.
Well, he just looked a little kind of spaced out a little bit,
Sure.
That's why I was kind of, because he kept looking around and holding his phone, and like I said, I was just a little startled because I'm like, who's here?
Sure. Your property's pretty remote.
Yeah, it is.
And your property, just to clear things up, is in Dane County, Wisconsin?
Correct.
So what happened after you told Chandler he could use the pool?
Well, he drove up, you know, because if you come, I live on a hill, and when you come to the driveway, it's kind of in the middle of the hill, and so you have to.
Yorick says, are all the women in Wisconsin shaped like an overstuffed beanbag? Basically, it's a Midwest body type. Remember, it has to withstand harsh winters.
Drive further up the hill to where the pool is. So he drove up there.
Okay. Did you see at this time when he was going to use the pool, did you see at this time where he parked?
No, I did not see where he had parked at that time.
Okay. All right. So do you guys have any further discussion before he goes to use the pool?
He did come down to where I was working on my project, which was putting on a ramp on my deck. I was putting a ramp so that my father and my brother could get up and down the deck in their, on the scooter and the wheelchairs.
Okay.
And so when I was working on that, he'd come down, there's a hill that leads down to my house, and he'd come walking down that hill. And then we had a conversation.
What did you guys talk about?
Well, he was telling me about his accident. He said he was at a doctor's appointment. And so he was talking to me about what the doctor had said and what was going on.
Did he tell you when that appointment had been?
I don't remember.
Okay. What did he say occurred?
Well, he told me that he had like damage, and I asked him where, and he said in this area of his head, in the back of his head. And
all right, so you put your hand right above the top of your neck.
Back here, yeah.
Okay.
The back of his head.
And did he elaborate on what that damage was?
Well, he said it wasn't good, that they might have to do some surgery or something, and that he said he was having trouble like with numbers, and he said he got lost. He had to use a GPS. He's just like said his mind was kind of messed up and wasn't thinking so well.
Okay.
He was having trouble with numbers. He's like, hey, girl, normally I think you're a 10, but today you look like a size 2 to me.
Did you guys discuss anything besides just his physical health?
Yeah, I asked him, you know, how he was, you know, overall doing, and about his job, because he said he was getting a new job in Florida, and I asked him about that, and like
What did he say?
Well, he said that he probably wasn't going to get the job, that some manager had told him that it wasn't going to work out because of his injury, that he wasn't able to work. And then I'd asked him about maybe he could go back to American Family, and he said no, he didn't. He said that wouldn't happen. He wouldn't be able to do that. So he seemed concerned about, you know, maybe not having a job and what was he going to kind of do. And I asked him, you know, would he talk to his parents? You know, maybe could he talk to them, or, you know, things like that, just to try to reassure him, because he just seemed upset about this news that he had gotten from the doctor.
Sure. And what did he respond to that?
To what?
To talk to the idea of talking to his parents about his job and health.
And he said, no, they're still up north. And I just says, well, you know, maybe it would help you to talk to them. And his response is, he says, no, they'll just be mad. And which seemed odd to me, why his parents would be upset with him, that he was hurt and couldn't work. You know, it just seemed odd to me.
Okay. How long do you think this conversation took place?
Oof, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or so.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
All right. What happened after the conversation?
Well, I think, I'm trying to remember, Dulce showed up. She'd come, I wasn't expecting her, but she had come to the house, and she came through the house. We were sitting on the deck, and she came and was like, what's going on? And I said, oh, well, I'm just chatting with Chandler here. And I guess he doesn't have such good news. And then she came out and sat down and asked what was going on. And then we started to kind of go back over what him and I had talked about to explain to her what was happening.
Sure. And the jury's already had the opportunity to hear from Dulce, so I don't need you to repeat anything that she said.
Okay.
But what kind of happened
That's what
next
she
in the
said.
events of?
Well, then he
that
went
day?
to go use the pool because before he'd come down and I'd asked him, how was the pool? He didn't answer. And so he said he was going to go back to use the pool. And then Dulce and I continued to talk because we just felt something was a little odd, so we were concerned, and her and I had a conversation about him of what was going on.
Okay. And then what happened after that?
Well, I kind of got irritated. It was so hot and I wanted to go swimming, and I was waiting for him to be done using the pool so I could go jump in the pool. And so I was getting impatient and waiting, wondering what was taking him so long.
Do you
So
swim
I said,
naked?
Look, I'm going to go get in the pool.
She should just
I'm
ask
done. I'm hot and I'm tired and I want to go cool off. And she said, okay. So she went to go get her suit, and then her and I have this little riding lawnmower. And so we got on the riding lawnmower to go up to tell him, hey, we're going to go swimming now.
See that face? That's him remembering that he saw her naked. Right now. He's like,
And when we got up there, he wasn't in the pool, and the cover was still on the pool. And
Okay, so hold on. The pool has a cover.
yeah, I have like a solar. It heats up. It helps get the water warm, so it just lays flat on the top.
Sure.
So it's got like a little bubble.
And obviously you have to remove said cover to get into the pool.
Yeah, there's times I got lazy where I could fold it over just to get in, but I usually like to take it off so I could have the whole
Was it
pool.
folded over so somebody could get in at all?
No.
All right. So the covers on the pool is Chandler in sight when you're over by the pool.
No.
Okay. And just is it Exhibit 57? Here's the pool, the round blue. This is an aerial photo, so it almost just looks like a dot.
Right, that's the pool area.
Okay. So what do you do next?
Well, when we drove up and you could kind of see no one was in the pool, and I didn't see, I was looking for him, and then when I looked to my right, when we came up the hill, I had the doors open in the shed, and I could see through the shed that his car was parked on the other side of the shed.
All right. Can you approach Exhibit 57 here and kind of point to where you saw Chandler's vehicle?
holy crap. So the other lady testified that he's down here somewhere. So she could see through the shed from the pool, through the shed to down here. I'm okay.
We came up, there's a hill here, and we came up and we could see through the doors.
You could.
Oh, as they're driving by it, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. So
That makes more sense.
he was parked kind of near, this is some wood and an oil drum.
Yeah, there's a pile of timber logs, and then it's like my scrap junk pile for metal and things.
Fair. And it's kind of near the wooded line here.
Every farm's got a
Okay.
damn metal junk pile.
All right. So I'm not the best estimator, Judge. I would say 4 inches south of the barn, maybe 1 inch above the oil tank on Exhibit 57 is the area that the witness pointed.
That seems to be a fair description, yes.
Okay. I'm going to have you sit down just so we can hear you nice and loud on that microphone.
Okay.
So what do? You see his, oh, well, hold on 1 second. Do you remember what kind of vehicle he was driving that day?
It was like a little station wagon, like a hatchback.
Okay.
It might have been a Subaru, I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you know, was the hatch open, closed, something else?
The back hatch, the back was open.
Okay. All right. So that's where you observed the car, the back hatch, or if you're not a car person like me, you say the trunk was open. What do?
Well, yeah, because we go and
Yeah.
he's not in the pool, and we see.
I see all you guys in chat like, no, that's not 4 inches. What are you talking about? No, that's like 20. That's like 35 inches. Best I can tell. That's huge. It's way bigger than 4 inches. Sure, guys. All right. If you say so.
See the car, and then I'm like, what the heck is going on? What is he doing? And I said, well, I'm going to go over, and Dulce was like, we were like, what's he doing? You know, what is going on?
Sure.
So we drove over to see if he was in the back of the car. Was he sleeping? What was he doing? Was he smoking weed or something, we didn't know. So we drove over there and with the mower and approached, and I drove to the back of the car because the back end was backed
This story is a little bit different.
towards me.
Okay, so the back end was facing closer to the barn or the oil drum?
Towards me. The front end was facing the shed.
Oh, towards you right now.
Yes, towards
Okay,
me
so
right
toward
now.
the woods, towards the wood
Yeah, so
line,
it's facing this way.
the trunk hatch
Was
is
up.
up.
So
Okay.
we drove in the mower and drove to the back of the car because I thought maybe he was in the back of the car
Sure.
taking a nap or I don't know. And we look in there and there wasn't anything in the car that we could see.
Okay, and at this point, you see the car, it's empty, or there's no Chandler in it. Do you see Chandler anywhere on your property?
No, because then we stopped and we're like, what the heck? We're looking around, what's he doing? Where is he? And Dulce was kind of upset at that moment because she's thinking maybe he's doing drugs or something. She was really upset, thinking maybe he's doing drugs or something. What the hell's he doing? So I said, I don't know, but I'm done. I'm going to get in the pool. I just was hot and irritated and just didn't want to deal with it. And so I said, I'm going to the pool. So we left and drove and parked the mower by the pool.
Okay, so you took your mower,
Drove back
over by the pool.
and parked and then proceeded and got in the pool.
Okay, so you're in the pool. When is the next time you see Chandler?
Do you want me to show you on that map?
Absolutely, I would love that.
Here's where the little
Why don't you do
bastard
it and then
walked
I'll
up.
say it again so it's in the mic.
We were in the pool and I'd say it was right approximately in this area. He was walking this way towards us, coming towards us. I thought maybe he was going to the car, but then he passed the car and kept coming towards us.
Okay, so why don't you sit and I'll try to say it again in the mic. So you saw him, you kind of pointed, there's some white, I don't know what that is. It
I
might
don't
just
know.
be a
Oh, those
wood.
are old beehives.
Oh, okay,
I got
so-
a bunch of beehives that I cleaning out my shed and they were old and I just threw them out there.
Okay, was he kind of coming from that area?
Yeah, he was walking like that direction, like towards that way. Yeah.
All
Coming
right,
that way.
and his car was here, but he walked past his car, you said,
Yes,
and then walked over by the pool?
right.
Okay. Do you remember what he was wearing?
Like baggy shorts. He had a shirt on, I thought before, and when he came back, he didn't have a shirt.
So when he was approaching the pool, coming out of the wooded area, no shirt.
Right.
Okay. All right, so he's approaching the pool. Does he actually get up to the pool?
Yeah, he came up to the pool. And I said, hey, Chandler, I don't have a shirt on.
Sure.
Because I go shirtless in my pool. That's kind of why I was waiting for him to leave, because I wanted to have the privacy to get in my pool.
Sure. Okay. You tell him you don't have a shirt on. What happens next?
And he said, well, if it would be all right, I'd like to get in the pool. I'm kind of sticky and I'm hot. And
Kind of hot and
I remember
sticky.
looking at Dulce
You know.
because I want to be respectful. And I said, well, I don't have a problem with it, Dulce, if you don't. And she just kind of was shrugged and, I kind of could tell she didn't really like it, but she just kind of turned and was sort of like, whatever. And so I said, okay. And so then I kind of turned and he got in the pool and he went to the east side of the pool and we kind of went to the west side of the pool.
Okay, and was he actively swimming or something
No, he
else?
just kind of dipped up and down and kind of was like washing, like
Oh, like
himself
washing
off.
himself
He
now.
said it was kind of scratchy on his walk and he's itchy and sticky. So he was just kind of like,
So you did a motion with your hands
yeah,
and
like
you
he
said the
kinda
word
was-
wash.
Yeah, like he'd dunk down and then he'd kind of like, be doing like this and dunk down and kind of,
Okay, kind of washing himself, rinsing himself off.
yeah. And then it was odd because he just seemed really different when he got in the pool from when he was talking to us before.
Different how?
You could say it taking a load
Well,
off.
he seemed more lucid, like he just seemed more present.
Did you say
You could say he ditched some of his problems.
present or pleasant?
Present,
Thank you.
like focused.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, what happened next?
Well, then Dulce was starting to ask him questions because I think she was concerned maybe he was doing some drugs. And I think she just wanted to sort of see if he was. So she started asking him questions and
Objection,
things like
hearsay.
that to see how he would respond. Because while he was gone and we were in the pool, that's what she spoke to me mostly about is what's going on
Objection,
with him. I'm
hearsay.
worried. I don't know why he's acting this way.
Objection, hearsay.
What's he doing? And
Object.
Just to clear this up, though, no.
Object. Object. She's testifying about the thing you just objected to a few minutes ago about them testifying about his drug use that they did not witness but suspected. And now she's testifying about what the other witness who was just testifying said. Come on, object. You know, you might miss the first one, but by like the third thing where she's like, well, and then she told me this, and then she told me that. Come on.
Paraphernalia or any evidence of drugs was ever found.
None, ever.
Okay.
And he admitted, that was one of the questions. She says, if you're doing drugs, John, I'm telling you right now, that's a deal breaker. And if you ever come, and he said, I will never, ever bring drugs to the house, or I don't do drugs. He, you know.
Okay, I just wanted to clear that
Yeah,
up.
she confronted him about that.
Object again.
What happens next?
Well, we just started talking, you know, she was worried, where was he going to stay? Because he thought he lost his job. And she was offered to say he could stay maybe at her house in town for a while if he needed to.
Pardon me, I have to interrupt here. This is all hearsay.
Thank you.
Agreed. I'll go ahead and ask to rephrase the question, and those last responses fall in that category.
Outside.
Tell the jury to ignore it. They would fall in that category. It would fall in the category, bro. That was terrible.
Of specifics of the conversation. How long was Chandler in the pool?
Oh,
Well, Dolce said it was
15 minutes-ish, roughly.
All right. And at some point, does he get out of the pool first, or do you?
Oh, he got up first. He said he was in a hurry. He had to go. That Catherine was getting dinner or something, and so he was like on a mission and had to like, let's go. And he got out and went to the car and drove off.
Okay. And his car that he went to was over.
Did he dry off? Dude, what kind of Philistine heathens just get out of a pool in shorts, mind you, just walk in and hop in their car all soaking and dripping wet and just drive away? Oh, God.
Over there by the oil tank near the wood line.
Right.
All right. I just want to back up here a second. You said at first, when you first talked with him on the deck when you were working on a project with Dulce, he then left to supposedly go swimming, and then you didn't see him until he walked out of the wood line later. About what was the time gap between the time he said, I'm going to go to the pool, and the time he actually went to the pool?
The first time or the second time? Or all together? Because there was,
Altogether. So the time you were on the deck working on your project.
and he showed up and
Right.
the time
And
he
then
left.
from the time he left you at the deck area until you saw him walk out of the wooded area,
Oh,
about what was the time frame in there?
I'm guesstimating, you know, maybe 45 minutes, an hour-ish, maybe.
Okay.
It's a guesstimate.
Yeah.
It was a while. To me, it seemed forever because I wanted to get in the pool.
Sure.
So it just seemed like a long time.
And then after he got out of the pool, he got into his vehicle and drove away.
Yeah.
Now, later that day, did you find out that he actually had attempted to contact you prior to coming to your property?
Yeah, later, I remember seeing the message was blinking on my landline. And so I pressed it, and then a name came up, and I didn't know I didn't recognize the name. And then I heard Chandler's voice. So he had left me a message, but I didn't realize it until after he'd come and gone, and I listened to it later.
Was it from
So
his
he left
mom's
you a
phone?
message or a voicemail?
Yeah, and saying he wanted to come and could he come and use the pool?
And did you turn that message or voicemail over to the Dane County Sheriff's Office?
Yes, I did.
And did you turn over a true and accurate copy of that message?
Yes, it's still on there right now.
Okay. I would at this time move Exhibit 64 into evidence.
No objection.
It is received.
Here's the- And I would ask to publish the message to the jury.
You may.
Oh, we're gonna play it. Boom, ba-da-loop.
Is this supposed to be going on?
It's still on her jitterbug cell phone.
The screen in front of you shows what the jury's seeing.
Oh,
No.
all right, thank you. That's right there.
Hi, Chris. This is Chandler. I just got back with some pretty terrible news from my doctor. So I was wondering if I could come by. Just, I don't know, take a couple laps to the pool or hang out. Something. I'm not having the most ideal day, I suppose. So call me back, 920-838-4549. Thank you. Bye.
Monday, 4:25 p.m.
And this was message 116.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Boom, ba-da-loom.
On July 7th, the next day, that Tuesday, did you receive any communication from Chandler?
Not directly from Chandler, no. But I'd heard otherwise that he was trying to come out, and I was having trouble with my phone for some reason, wasn't working my landline, and I was kind of feeling stressed and didn't really want to deal with anybody at the farm that day.
All right, and so did Chandler end up coming out on the 7th?
No.
Or, I'm sorry, that's the 7th, okay. Later in the course of this investigation, various items were found on your property that you were made aware of. Is that fair?
Yes.
They have these broken up so
We inquire,
weird.
Counsel. I think the
All right. Here we go. They have those broken up in very weird segments. Like they have half the testimony of one person, then half the other half somewhere else. But it is a good stopping point for us because it's 2:15. Sorry, 2:15. And I need to, as you can tell, I need some shut eye. Oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. I don't know. I'm so torn on this case because like I really kind of want to know what happens, but it's also really boring a lot of times with like little sprinkles of interesting stuff. And to me, I think my fever dream of it being an erotic cannibalism story makes it, I'm going to be so disappointed when that's not the case. But I'm going to read the super chats and then we'll wrap up the show. And there will not be a Twitch show tonight because I need some rest. But we'll figure out tomorrow. I was gonna hold on one second. I know there's something I have to do at some point tomorrow. I just need to see when that is. Right in the middle of the fucking day. It's always in the middle of the day. Everything's in the middle of the day. I may stream part of the trial tomorrow in the morning. I will see. We'll see. Otherwise, I might do a later afternoon stream, like around 3, right? Maybe around 4, something like that. 4 Central. We'll figure it out. I'm trying to get back to 2 streams a day because there's just so much to talk about. But yeah, so we'll figure that out. I'll get something set up. And we might just be getting into this trial. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Velternate says, at the end of the day, why didn't this dude just get a job? He had a good girlfriend with good parents who all would have supported him. Well, I mean, let's be really honest really quickly. That may be true. That may be true. But also, that's just what they're telling you now. I mean, that's the story that's coming across, right? Oh, they all supported him, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it seems like the girlfriend was kind of a simp in her chats and stuff, but we have no idea what Dolce and Gabbana over here actually thought, right? Like, we have no idea if they actually like this kid, or if mom, maybe mom was telling the daughter every day, this guy's a loser, you should kill his parents. We don't know. We have no idea. So anyway, but yeah, basically though, I do agree. I mean, the simpler thing is just to work. That's the trick. It's not like he was getting money from somewhere else either. It's not like, well, why was he selling drugs? He could have made as much money doing whatever. It's like, yeah, but selling drugs is more fun or something. He wasn't getting any money. He wasn't getting anything at all. So, very, very weird stuff. Very weird stuff. Janito 799 upgraded to lawyer status. Welcome. Corrections 101. I read that one. Base Crocodile read that one. Devil's Advocate says, I love people who commit copyright infringement and leave video evidence, including how much they earned from it. Amazing. I hope Viacom reams Pokimane. I'm sure a lot of her simps would love to film that. Randall Gully says, yeah, I'm going to Whataburger, but I do love the show. And yes, copyright laws matter too. Base Crocodile says, Ben Franklin had it right. IP should last 20 years. Yeah, well, Disney has put a big change to that. Proz says, 30K Twitch follower idea. Put on your own MasterChef cooking stream. Rottweiler says, it would be interesting to see Viacom going after Twitch like they did against YouTube. If memory serves, since Twitch won't punish their golden geese permanently. I am for copyright reform. Me too. I'm for copyright reform, but I'm also for prissy live streamer reform. And I really dislike most everybody. I mean, I can just leave it there. I really dislike almost everybody, but especially like the like streaming community. Oh God. Phoenix Lord Asterman says you should bring PSA Sitch on if you're laughing at people like Hassan. Well, wait, isn't Sitch like isn't he like the good communist, or was he like an ex-commie or something? I think people have said that they're like Adam and Sitch were either are or were like left-leaning, or I don't want to mischaracterize them. I just feel like I've heard that. Is that a thing? Do I have that wrong? I might. And I don't mean to mischaracterize. I just feel like that was something. Maybe I was misunderstanding. Squizgar says, fun fact, the meta in gaming is an acronym of most effective tactic available. Sitch voted for Biden, huh? Okay. They're fence-sitting liberals. The Squid says, I'm surprised the Twitch meta hasn't evolved to women making O faces while stirring mac and cheese into a mic. Oh, dude, you probably just figured it out. Just the ahageo faces or whatever. Just oh my God. Sarsarin's Dave friend says, Lakeda Law here. Nick Lakeda is here to satisfy your ASMR licking needs with a side of simpery. Squizgar says, are you saying men can't have feminine breasts, bigot? Yes. Yes, I am. Eldritch Blasted says, gosh darn it, Ricada, lawyer, VTuber, law ASMR, you're leaving so much money on the table and you call yourself a grifter. Shame, Rackets. Shame. Matt Hagen says, the men don't have great tracts of land. Woodfoot says, here is money to just literally never gawk your microphone again, please and thanks. Well, I make no promises, but also no refunds. Twitcher's moronic, yes, but how are the streaming stick up the butters different from torrenting stick up the butters? The one thing with torrenters are still violating the law. The one thing that they're not doing as much, although it depends on, I guess, how much uploading you're doing, is they're not broadcasting to as many people typically. A lot of times people download torrents for themselves and not necessarily share it. But Patrick Allen says, Judge is back and Uncivil is a sadist. Ash Rail says, what do you think about the argument that XQC provides more publicity and indirect revenue to MasterChef by streaming it than it would get otherwise? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Even if all of their revenue comes from it, that is not a copyright exception. Yeah. So, and the other thing is they're not getting, well, I mean, I guess in theory they could be getting more publicity and indirect revenue. However, I mean, he's tangibly taking plenty of revenue by streaming it on his channel. The Devil's Advocate says, is anyone really surprised that I'm an anus has terrible takes on everything? Oh, Emain Anus. It's in the name, folks. Yes, Pokimane. Mario Carter says, Hassan breaks his back pressing play button 8 hours a day. Dude, Hassan flat out steals content. Like he's maybe even, I don't know how much commentary the other two do. Hassan will play someone's video, not just like a network show, but someone's YouTube video or whatever, and just leave the computer. He'll just leave while it plays. Like not even be there, not commenting or adding anything. Just ridiculous. President-elect Four Doors More Horse says, really want your thoughts on Blair Dacey's pardon. I don't know who Blair Dacey is. Tim the Ancient says, legally, is it on Twitch to stop the copyright infringement or the rights holders? Sort of both, mostly the rights holders. Podhead says, Nick, do you love black people? Yes. Ninja Work says, question, full episodes of Hell's Kitchen are available on YouTube on Hell's Kitchen's official YouTube page. Does that make it legal to restream it? No, absolutely not. Just like there are full episodes of my show available on my YouTube page. And if someone were to restream it onto their YouTube channel, that would be an infringement of my copyright. That would be a violation of the law as well. Not applicable says, you see the memology video about Patriot Front? Nope. Kiernath says, DMCA law can't keep up with the speed of tech. Pimp Poppy says, F it, I'm going to get in contact with anti-piracy organization on Twitch. Can you tell me if SIIA or Software and Information Industry Association is legit? I cannot. I have no idea. Harvey Weinstein says, you've been e-begging like DSP about your washer. Wait, what? I don't think I mentioned it until today. Chicken Nooble says, Nick had no trouble gripping that mic and putting a sloppery one on it. What the hell? Sour Kraus says, go buy some toothpaste and brush your tongue. Nah. Alex Scott Thompson says, in Nick voice, let's get hashtag narrow Nick trending, guys. David Davidson says, you look like you have had practice microphones. Glib Facsimile says, these Twitch streamers do not transform the content. They just stream it and talk over it. It's an unofficial commentary track and a bad one. Mandy Karavicha says, I double dog dare you to lick the flagpole outside. No. Jillian Seed says Fauci for and hero old fig terms to get around censor. As Beauty 7 says, the Haraldson trial is terrible and a waste of time. It's such a bad example for trial advocacy. Some guy says, new MC Jarbo track just dropped. I Cucks featuring MC Jarbo, Cuck City, legitimately phenomenal piece of music. Jordan Flata says, what are your thoughts on Game of Thrones books? I've never read them. Lady Raggets has them. I think she's started reading them, but I've never read them. Daniel Irving says, are you hiring? I've corrected numerous defense and prosecuting attorneys on criminal law and have docs to prove that. I'm also a decent C+ C# programmer. I am not currently hiring. No. Vash and Coog, message retracted. Thank you. Base Crocodile says, tyrannize workers, shootings happen, blame guns. Vash and Coog says, in remembrance of my late stepmom, Washington State Supreme Court Chief Justice Mary Fairhurst, could I get a tip of the glass with some nice whiskey? She passed on December 28th. Sure. Yeah. Very cool. So your stepmom was Washington State Supreme Court Chief Justice Mary Fairhurst. So, let's see. How do we do this? To Mary Fairhurst, who took on the mantle of public service at the very highest levels, leading a state's highest court as the Chief Justice for a time. But of course, the bigger mantle was perhaps taking on a stepchild and hopefully raising them in an image of integrity and honesty. And may the impressions left on the child last far beyond the impressions left on the law. Cheers and Godspeed, Mary. Peace. Europa Chronicle says, Nick, have you seen the video from 2-ish months ago of police conspiring with DEA to take a Marine Corps vet's life savings after a traffic stop? No, I have not seen that. That sounds horrible. Alex Scott Thompson says, did you and Donut ever do a collab? Yes. Donut he said he'll be releasing the video soon. So that's up to him. Quicksin LV says, what was the federal contractors vax mandate heard by SCOTUS Friday too? No, I think it was just OSHA and CMS. I don't know if the federal and CMS may have been combined, or it may have been combined in one of those. I don't know. But as far as I know, it was only the OSHA one. Poorly Redacted says, asking chat not to do something that causes you distress. Rookie move, my guy. Yes, actually, gross. That was a mistake. That was a huge mistake on my part. Mario Carter 13 says, if holes need stretching, your mutuals know a guy. Eldritch Blasted says, the big woman could have fed 100 Chandler Hendersons. Patrick Allen says, mom on Insta is way different than in courtroom. Yeah, of course. Court is a story. It's a story being told to the audience that is forced by law to listen. Kevin Speaks on it says, you from Minnesota? Yes. Has it always been a Democrat liberal state? Yes. Yes. When Reagan won 49 states in his election, Minnesota was the one. It was the one. Chris Toofer says, my buddy Tom said short peeps tend to have small canals. Spec says, Consuela Family Guy in real life. Mick Aviator, thank you for the donation. Crusader says, B-Dubs gets points for using beef tallow to fry. Brian Moore, thank you for the donation. Base Crocodile says, my aunt has this accent, definitely South American. Ola Kyle says, you can see a full body shot of the cannibal's girlfriend as the next witness is called. You stopped watching her testimony 5 seconds too soon. No. Not applicable says, I love this lady. I want to eat her taco. No, bad, not applicable. Joel Reese says, oh my God, it's Consuela from Family Guy. Brian Moore says, sent a Twitter DM of Catherine as Joker from her mom's Instagram. Oh God. Let's see what we got here. What? Oh my gosh, my DMs are a disaster. Okay, here we go. I have this one. That's what we need. Here, we'll do this. So there, that's Catherine, the girlfriend, as the Joker, apparently. This was right before she started eating the parents. So there's that. D says, did you end up getting the fine whiskey glass from Norland? It is a fine glass for a fine person such as yourself. Yes, Lady Rackets bought me I think it was either her or my parents, but I think it was her. She got me the Norland glasses a long time ago. And then one of them fell and broke, which was a tragedy, but that did happen. So I only have this one left. Amateur Anth says he liked the taco, the prosecutor. We know. Wait, he liked the taco, the prosecutor. We know he was eating your daughter's taco all the time. Base Crocodile says Dora the Explorer poisons herself on trial. Mike Sullivan says time to break out the soul sanitizer. Alex Scott Thompson says get a gosh damn chaser for your $8 military booze. Oh, so that military special vodka is far worse than the Scotch is. The military special Scotch was not good, but it wasn't terrible. Michael Shomo says, I like the taco. Tyler Sales says, now we know what the girlfriend was talking about when she mentioned food of her culture, tacos. Patrick Allen says, check your Twitter DMs and check Taco Mom Insta and tell me she isn't acting on the stand. Dude's still guilty and favorite taco is in on it. Let's see. What's her mom's Instagram? I guess we could find that real quick. That's something different. Where did that go? D. Melander. Okay, here's the mom's Instagram. We'll troll through it real quick. Never hold your farts in. Okay. She's working the Instagram angles here, apparently. So this is her. God, oh, these people. Instagram is terrible because of this. Let's put an inspirational quote on something. I need to start doing this, actually. I need to start just putting inspirational quotes on stock photos and selling them or something. But the inspirational quotes will be terrible. See, this is a tragedy. Mac now supports Windows. Okay, I'm done. Very, very uninteresting, unfunny people. Okay, love you most 326 says wait till you see her girlfriend, topless lesbian, looks like Brienne of Tarth. Caleb C says I hope the autobiography for Chandler that comes out will be entitled He Liked the Tacos, the Chandler Halderson story, aka the Jack Murphy story. Patrick Allen says, nah, Taco Mom girlfriend looks like Gary Busey. Amateur Ant says, did the prosecutor not look into the financials of the girlfriend or her mom? I think all three of them were in on it. Mainly because Chandler liked the tacos. Poorly Redacted says, that's a cool looking Gears of War box behind you. It's not Gears of War. Not Applicable says, I think she was afraid her daughter was going to F. She didn't want her wife getting some white boy. Eric Wolfrick says, is it really that strange that he'd think going by the farm by himself would be okay, seeing how Dulce would take him out to eat without Cat? I don't know. I don't know. Josh says it's Wisconsin. They would use ranch, not barbecue sauce. Chicken Nooble says, Nick, I made a thing that I'm proud of. You'll be proud of it too. It's on Twitter. Go look for the tweet I tagged you in. I don't even see it. It just updated. I have to. Oh, here it is. What is this? So this is what. Oh, is it just me licking the microphone? Okay, I'm not going to rewatch that right now. Amateur Ant says, Nick, a lawnmower makes perfect sense. They were cutting grass on the way to 2 chickens, 1 potato. Marcel DeFore says, at what point did they say he was a cannibal? Oh, they didn't say that. I said that. That's me. Because I'm pretty sure. Look, there's pieces missing. All sorts of weird stuff going on. I think he ate. I think he took a nibble. It's just a nibble, okay? Just a little bit. 24 Cookie 24 says, is motive important? Like, do you have to prove motive to be breaking the law or just for the jury to convict? Maybe that's why it's not clear cut. No, motive is not need to be proven. Intentionality of the act needs to be proven, but not motive. Mudge Majee says, how about sharing where we can get that sweet t-shirt you're wearing? I wish I knew. A guy made it for me like 2 years ago. And yeah, it's a one-off as far as I know. Destroya says, think Gary Busey when you get a look at Cress. Not Applicable says, 2 Latinas lesbians get on a lawnmower. Gawker's Death Rattle says, when did Kubiak from Parker Lewis Can't Lose become a judge? Not Applicable says, Taco Mama, no. Why are you lying? Don't lie for him. Calvin Pontius says, Nick, question I've drunkenly pondered to no avail. If significant other is missing and they or the family report it, at what point does hiring an attorney look sus or harmful to their case? Hiring an attorney should never be harmful to their case, but it could certainly look suspect in the media or in the public. And at what point does it look sus? Always. Anything you do looks sus. So just do it and protect yourself. Super Mario Subpoena says, my guest girlfriend's mom helped him make fajitas out of the parents. She's playing innocent Latina mom card hard. Too hard. 24 Cookie 24 says, I bet he was a nipple rubber that night. Chuck Ross says, he got in the pool to wash off his parents' leftovers. They were swimming in it. Barf face. Bad Dragonite says, these streamers make enough to pay for the licenses. Lucifer the Doberman says, I see your painting table. You into Warhammer 40K. What is your favorite army? I'm into Warhammer, but mostly the books. I want to do more painting, but I don't have a ton of time. My favorite army, vanilla army, is probably Salamanders. Well, that's Space Marine chapter, I guess. I like Custodes. I think they're great. Kevin Speaks on it says, you double dip your chips. Favorite candy, Reese's Cup candy corn, Hershey's, etc. Judge David DA's job. This is a shit show. Reese's Cup candy corn, or is it supposed to be Reese's Cup candy corn? Jonathan Duger says, I did the Blazing challenge in 3 minutes 59-ish seconds at B-dubs. Not Applicable says, lady is lying to protect her no good daughter. Richard S says, everything about this lady makes me angry. Noodle Knight says, I am Jack's swollen colon. Angry Bellsprout says, I'd love to date her daughter. Sounds like a fun family for game night and for the mom to need help with being stuck in the washer. Stop. El Gonzo 1000 says, sweet Riviera MSR. or ASMR. El Gonzo says Ricada. Thanks. Autocorrect. Oh, sweet Ricada ASMR. Amateur Ant says this trial lets me know to never hire a female lawyer. Yikes, lol. D. Thomas says not the same ethnicity, but she reminds me of Miss Swan. I'm bored out of my mind, but I can't look away. Not applicable says I think Taco Mom could do better than this Banshee. Damn. Let's see. Not applicable says she looks more like a Shambungo Mahundi to me. Tara Rayner says Cress is now dubbed Pillsbury, proclaimed by your favorite Canadian. Any thoughts on the Terry Landry Dem donor pedo case out of Oregon? I haven't seen that. Bjornen says, what is Immortal Joe doing on the witness stand? Gorgeous Rex says, hey, Racket, someone said it was illegal to buy and sell used 40K minis on eBay, especially if they had been part of a set. Can I confirm if that's nuts? I'm not aware of Warhammer putting any sort of license agreement restriction on minis, so I would say that's probably BS. Typically, if you buy a physical thing, you have the full right to that physical thing, even free of like some random attempted attachment of intellectual property. But in this case, I mean, I don't see how you could deny someone the right to sell their 40K minis. Let's see. Yankee James says, now all you need is a BR, a bra, and you can start doing ASMR streams on Twitch. You can call yourself Legal Thought. Eric Miller says, Nick, do you think they'll have on Reza Aslan as an expert? Yes. After his experience eating human brains. JH says, has anyone ever seen Black Booty Patrol Part 4? I have not. Rand Maniac 10, welcome to Paralegal. Corey Cast, same thing to you. Alex Scott Thompson says, donation to the Go to Sleep Fund. Outlaw 2 says, hey girl, I forgot my number. Can I have yours? Concussed brain injury. General says, how did the girlfriend spend the night in a house where 2 people were killed and burned and not notice anything? Smell of burnt flesh was not concerning. Look, he made cookies or whatever. Mike Sullivan says, how was she not sure it is a Subaru hatchback? She should be an expert. Oh, God. Okay, that was funnier than it should have been. Doesn't it just smell like one of your old tank tops? General says, would it be possible to get someone to make a timeline of events for this case? I can't keep up. So I'm sure someone has. Limp Quizbut says, do you think she wears the mask in the pool while not having a top on? Probably. Amateur Ant says, the gray hair female wears the pants in this relationship. I'm just wondering if she subscribed to the Seminole Order, if she's his #1 fan. Ubagi says he had 99 problems, but not a body and an ice chest. Battle Elf says, dang it, Napoleon, make yourself a quesadilla. Droid says, hearsay. General says, I find everyone involved in this case very suspicious. Everyone is so odd. Droid says, cam and use the pool. Pastor Flash says, what's the point with all these questions about swimming in the pool? Was he swimming on a full stomach? Gross. Cynthia says, Nick, Chaz has your hair when you were 20. Rogaine goals. Clark Terry fan says, oh crap, I fell asleep, woke up to the Peeing Lawyer song and assumed the stream was over. Sad. General says, maybe we can get Richie McGinnis as a guest witness. Eric Wimberg says, what? No Twitch tonight. # robbed trials polls, please. The end is near. Beware says, shit, just found the farm on Google Maps. The pool is the cheap Walmart blow up and fill trash pool. Rogue Ryan says, I hope this is enough for a pot of paint to continue any model projects you're on currently. I need to paint and base for a big game of 40K on Friday. Currently, the current thing I'm painting, I won't go grab it right now, but I'm painting the Todd McFarlane 7-inch Soul Drinker. That is wait, no. Sorry. 7-inch. That I'm supposed to go this way. 7-inch Soul Drinker. No, but or it's just the reference ones that they printed. They're completely gray, and I decided to paint it as a Soul Drinker. That's the project. But I mean, the last time I painted it was sometime like 6 months ago. But thank you. I'll probably do a painting stream soon. Marsubio Gamer says, have you seen the Jesse Lee Peterson interview with David Pakman? David claims he dates exclusively women. Jesse was incredulous, to say the least. It was amazing. No, I have not. I'll throw that one on soon. It's a small girl says, today the detective introduced the luminal photos. The basement glowed. Also, girlfriend knew he wasn't hurt, like you said. He didn't fake at the farm. Yeah. I don't believe. See, I got problems with these people. They're lying. Trefor 11 says, gotta ask opinions about Astra Militarum and Sly Marbo walking Rambo reference unit in 40K. Look, Sly Marbo is amazing. He's very funny. The Astra Militarum in general, first of all, that's like saying the Space Marines. There's so many different aspects of it, but typically I like the super soldiers a little bit more than the guard. The guard is pretty funny, but I like the Gaunt's Ghost books, but I wouldn't play guard in the game. I don't like the models that they have as much. I don't know what it is. Phoenix Lord Asserman says, laughs and clown at Custodes. Angry Baneling says, Nick, you should totally not sleep after this. Just hop on Twitch for sure and do a movie night. It's the best thing you could do today, I promise. And with that, that's the last chat. There we go. I believe Odyssey's all caught up. Yes, indeedy, I think. Oh, wait, no, we got a couple of quick chats over there. Pepsi Man says, is there any way to contact an anti-piracy organization on Twitch for stealing someone's content? Can you tell me if Software and Information Industry Association is legit? I cannot tell you the second part. I mean, Twitch has a DMCA process. If the person wants to pursue it, they can. Neff says, Ricada Law, so which custom IEMs are you going to be getting? They're the 64 audio A18Ss. And Sword Caliber says, if Murphy is still taking members, why not sign up Binger for some liminal training? Look, because I don't want to give Jack Murphy any money, even as a joke. And with that, guys, I'm going to bed. I will catch you guys tomorrow at some point, either during the day or in the evening, or at night, I should say. One of those two, and then we'll see you then. Mr. Bentham says, objection, Your Honor. This so-called lawyer, Nick Ricada, didn't use soapy water on his 7-inch model. Your Honor, his case should be dismissed with prejudice to his ass. Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good night. Peace.
Oh, he drinks a fair bit, but you realize that it just helps get his noggin jogging along. With his glass by his side and his kids asleep tight, we'll hear some lost-plaining tonight. With his microphone muted, we'll laugh at this boomer until he explains it's all part of the plan. Watch his face become redder as he becomes meta, raging at idiots from Twitterland. From the white shores of Maine to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed, to make the law what we have now. Oh, his lady is fair, and she handles herself with the grace of one who has borne many children. As the wife of a lawman, she makes sure that he has the time and the place to provide for them there. So pour out an ardbeg, a bow, more of the brook. The spirits flow as the ones who get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter, as we hear lost-plaining tonight. From the white shores of Nam to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed, to make the law what we have now. Oh, the guests are all plentiful. dip and spice to the mix. But the reason we're here and the one that we cheer is the one who is showcasing us his career. Get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter as we hear lost painting tonight. From the white shores of Nan to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the thought better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we